Welcome everybody to today's stream. Hello. Hope you're doing well today. And let's enjoy some gaming together. Here we are. And we are already on my CO2 Hero account here. And we are just in a random pack group now. I just joined for some codons for the daily here. And other than that, I want to focus a lot on World versus World and the fractal stuff today. So I really want to get the fractal incursion champion completed so that I finally can get my legendary weapon starter key universal, which is obviously for my CO2 Hero account here immense value. Getting like 40% of a legendary for free and I can choose which one. It's perfect. So really important. We'll get that today and then we will see how much we can continue on our journey. We also need to get the gift of battle. We are already like almost halfway there. So that's good. And other than that, I think we are quite happy with the progress. We also need some more gold. Of course, gold farming is also on the to-do list. But a lot of things. But as always, please ask questions. If you're new veteran, have any questions, just let me know. I try to answer them. And that's the main thing here. And yeah, welcome Patricia, welcome. Hope you're doing fine today. And let's have some fun together. This will be an experience. To be honest, I never joined those groups that are only doing the dailies and have no commander, because look at the squad composition. We have only one subgroup and we have like not sorted out who is heal, who is alacrity DPS and stuff. So I'm just in for the kill. I don't care if we like do this in like 2 minutes or in 10. I don't really care. I just want to get the daily done for the blue prophet shard, no prophet crystal, I think it's called. So that will be an experience. And I can't command because I'm not a commander on this account here. So it will be interesting. Very good. That's what we like to hear, Patricia. That's what we like to hear. But yeah, I'm also quite happy. I'm really like excited for today. I want to get some more progress. I'm really feeling it right now. You know, the not really the addiction, but the energy to progress on my CO2 Hero account to get finally more like just more stuff going, more achievements completed, like getting the gift of battle done, getting the gold. I think we're all done. Let's go. Let's just go. That's why we need a commander. For the ready check, it's like horrible if you don't have a commander or something. Okay, let's provide some stability here. I'm not sure how this is looking. Looks like we have like me and another healer. I mean, that's already quite a good like thing. But we seem like to have almost no other DPS. We have one DPS player. I guess that's better than none. But you can already see this is such an easy strike mission. You don't even need to have an organized squad. Just go in as a 10-person group, you will be fine. It's crazy. Okay, apparently no one joins me here. That's like typical. Let's do it like that then. You have all the boons up. I think I mean we have no quickness. That's a little bit sad. But it's somewhat expected, to be honest. If we have like one quickness provider and the chronomancer, maybe the Deadeye. I don't know. They're focusing on one. That's a little bit scary, to be honest, in an unorganized group to focus on one codon, because I'm not sure if I can single-handedly heal all of that damage that might come, but we will see. I'm already on chronomancer here, if you're wondering. Not Mirage anymore. Chronomancer is just a better healer. I feel like more flexible. So that's what we do. Welcome, Likely. Welcome. Hope you had a nice day as well. And I'm quite happy to be here and stream another round of CO2 Hero on this account. And I hope we make some big progress today. I also think we can also check how much gold we still need for the legendary. We can do that with the Guild Wars 2 efficiency. I have it here on this account as well. Oh, it looks scary, to be honest. So we will check that later, how much gold we still need and how much items we want to get and stuff. But I think we are already quite a big chunk of things in. I'm actually quite clean, to be honest. I did not expect to have that as clean with a group with only one squad crew. That's good, we did it. Easy. Let's say thank you and go our way. Do you only play this account on stream? So I play this account like 95% on stream. There is one exception to the rule, which is I play one match PvP per day. even on streams, on days where I don't stream, so that I get the daily thing done. But everything else, yeah, bonk, exactly. Everything else I do on stream. It's just this like one daily PvP match that I do for the Wizard's Vault. But I think it's not worth it to stream it for like 10 minutes, a PvP match. Everything else is on stream. Yes, that's the idea of this whole journey, because I really think it's worthwhile for a new player to see how a veteran approaches stuff. And let's see what we can do here. No, nothing. Let's do some quick play, I guess. But yeah, it's really, I feel like if you cut out some parts and I don't show specific parts, a new player might get lost. So I show almost everything here on stream. Like when I open bags, when I do whatever, so that I can explain it. Maybe just showcase how it works. I think that's the good point here to do. But yeah, the progress is quite good. Yeah. Glad you find it helpful. I think it's very interesting to see also for me what I do differently on a new account, because on my main account, some things I don't really care. Yeah, I will just do them whatever, and I will at some point get the loot, or I will open for example, the unidentified gear on a character with all the bags and just salvage them. Here it's completely different. I'm really like almost scared to let them stack up to 250, because it means I have a lot of work to do because it never fits my inventory. Stuff like that is actually very interesting and very uncommon for me to recognize that. I think the community is somewhat hyped for the new expansion. We had now the Fractal event, I would say, is somewhat on a downturn. People are almost done with everything that is needs to be done to get the legendary gloss and stuff. So I think the community is somewhat hyped for the new expansion. But I think there was like the last 2 weeks, they were a little bit more engaged. Now it's a little bit going back down. But I think there will be I hope at least there will be some announcement coming very soon regarding the new expansion, so that people will be very excited to play this. And then hopefully we have enough hype to last 1 more month, roughly a little bit more than 1 month, to get to the expansion. That's the hope here. But I think everyone is quite happy, to be honest, with how it turns out to be. Without your content, I probably would have uninstalled. As a new player, you can get very lost very fast. Yeah, I think I made actually slight teaser. I'm already working on a video where I talk about this, and I think that's something that I noticed a lot, that there is almost no guidance in Guild Wars 2. You have the adventure guide where you talk about what kind of stuff you can actually get, for example, to level, you know, open your bank, open whatever, do that to continue leveling. But as soon as you reach level 80, I feel like there is almost nothing that is like teaching you to get into fractals, get into raids, how to get a set gear. And I think that's a little bit sad. So I really want to point it out, and maybe the devs listen to me to some extent at least. Yeah, that's my big hope here. Yeah, there is a badge in this fractal. That's true. Where is the badge? Ah, it's in the wood in the beginning. Do I have it already? Sometimes I have it already. Let's check. I don't think so. Is it important? Maybe I should get it later. Not sure if I will just jump down, maybe. I don't know, and the mist stranger rests me. I think that's a possible way of doing it. Let's do it like that. No! Wait, what? That's mean. Like, they don't let me jump down. They don't let me. It's impossible to fall down on this fractal. That's so mean. I just want to get down back. It's fine. I will do it again probably. And to be honest, I don't really care to get all the badges, because I'm not an achievement hunter obviously on this account. And getting like a few more things in the quick play is not necessarily like a bad thing. I will get gold by doing those fractals and more relics and stuff. So I don't care about all the badges, to be honest. I don't even go for all of them on my main account, only for the achievements. Everyone is falling down, I guess. Yeah, Lion's Arch is like extremely full of players. I think that's really cool to see that there are a lot of people engaged with the game right now, especially the Fractal event. I think the quick play is a big success, I have to be honest. I saw so many people, even veterans, saying, I never played Fractals before, and it's so crazy how much I now play them because of the quick play. It's really cool to hear, definitely. Yeah, I don't have it, yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's crazy. The quick play has some really weird interactions that you cannot like die at all. You know, it's really weird. Last week I wanted to do a... Wait, I should get the portal ready. last week I wanted to get a specific skip in the fractals, and I wanted to GG to get there fast. And funnily enough, it was impossible to do because the Mist Ranger was reviving me before my group was GGing as well. It was really weird. Okay, no one takes my portal. I guess that's classic. I guess that's a classic. I mean, we can do it very fast, to be honest, if you have multiple hammers here. So many inexperienced players are playing fractals right now. Yeah, and I think that's good. That's what we need. We need more players, even if they are completely inexperienced, to try out new things, especially fractals, because they are like a big stepping stone. It has a scaling difficulty in there. So you want to get new players, inexperienced players trying them out, because they will get more experienced if they just play more fractals. I really believe so. And I think that's a really good way of doing it, giving them a free legendary, some kind of incentives to get in there, while also providing veterans the same luxury. So people are very interested in trying that out and mix, you know, you have experienced players, inexperienced players, all in the same groups. They will learn something from each other, hopefully. And you will have a better time, everyone, I guess. That's my hope. There we go. Was close, but we did it. I've done some meta events in Heart of Thorns maps, and there were so many players. It was just crazy. It was really fun moving around, doing some chill content. Yeah, I think Guild Wars 2 is like the meta events is one of the best selling points of like for most people, because not a lot of other games have meta events and that kind of stuff. At least not as well executed as Guild Wars 2 does. And it's really really fun to see how many players can be in one place and work together to get a specific achievement meta event done. I think that's really cool. That's one of the biggest strengths of Guild Wars 2, and I think they should lean into that with the new expansion maps as well, hopefully. And I think they do it quite well to some extent with the Convergences too, which is also 50-player content. I really think Guild Wars 2 does a very good job with that. But like I said, I hope we will get more of that in the future, and hopefully something that is very new player friendly as well, and not something that you can only do as a like very experienced veteran. I think you should always do stuff like quick play that is for new players and veterans alike, because that's where when the Guild Wars 2 developers don't have enough resources to put out content like crazy, apparently that's what they cannot do, then it's the best if we would have content that is worthwhile for both types of players. I really think so. There we go. Very good. I've done some, yeah. I want bots for Guild vs. Guild. That would be fun. Yeah, some kind of heroes or something, I guess. Yeah, I guess that would be fun. So I have 3 oh, I can open it. Very good. 3 blue prophet shards, crystals, whatever. Once per week you can open this. That's what I do. You get some extra loot. Of course, you get more rewards if you have all the echoes active. I think it's rewarding already if you have like, or it's always rewarding, but you should always open with blue at least 3 prophet crystals in my opinion, and at least 3 echoes. I on this account go for all 5 because they give me the most amount of blue prophet shards. 12, very good. And then we can open a lot of the stuff. You can see there's a lot of nice rewards that I get here. And some more blue prophet shards, 77 already, not bad. If we are at around like 150, we can buy the last ascended gear piece. That's very good, and then we're good to go. Look at how much loot we get. Very nice. Salvage the rare stuff and salvage the other stuff here as well. Very good. Clean the inventory. Looks good. Now we can sell some stuff to the vendor, and we can continue with the next piece of content. We also want to play some World vs. World today. Let's see if there's currently some kind of action going on. I've played support exclusively through this event. It's funny that you can tell experienced players versus inexperienced players solely on stacking on bosses. Yeah, I think it was too. Oh, there is actually a commander here. Is there some action going on? Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, I think Guild Wars 2, that's one of the most fun things to see as a veteran player, if you know what to look out for. If you, for example, go, what is a good example? If you go to any raid boss and you join a group and you don't know which kind of kill proof or experience level the players have, then one of the most fun things or interesting things to see is you don't need to know how often a boss was killed by a specific player. You just look at their movement, look maybe at their DPS, maybe look at both, maybe look at how they, I don't know, interact with the mechanics and stuff, and you can clearly, like within a minute, see how experienced this player is. Which is, I think, a very interesting concept, because in a lot of other MMOs, it's all about the gear. In Guild Wars 2, it's way more about understanding how a fight works, how your class works. If it doesn't really matter if someone has exotic or ascended gear. Yeah, the only thing that really matters is if they understand their class in the fight. And that's very, very unique to Guild Wars 2, but it's also something that makes it very, I don't know, problematic for new players to some extent to get into the game. Or at least in endgame content. Because even with the best gear, if you follow a guide, you might not actually understand the mode or the class or what you're doing well enough to actually perform decently enough in a fight. That's really interesting. So your gear can't carry you in Guild Wars 2, not as much as you might like. So we are again in a circ. This is like I think that's a guild group, which is, this is one very, very good thing if you just try to follow the guild groups, because they are obviously somewhat good at the game, hopefully, and more organized. So you can just sneak some kills, maybe sneak some defense events here, and we can continue our journey of getting more closer to the Gift of Battle. And why, just one point here, why you were wondering probably why I swapped the maps here before going back to the original map. You can guarantee to get the first pip or first tick that you joined. Normally you cannot get that, but if you swap maps once, so go to a different map, then you will get access to the pip straight away. So you will get the reward directly here. That's why I was going for that. Love the guides. You've more than earned the follow. It's a free button after all. Thanks, Ed. Really appreciate it. I try my best. Sure. Go ahead, Likely. I'm always happy for feedback. If it's constructive feedback, I'm always happy to hear that. If it's just someone saying your builds or your guides are shit, that doesn't help me. I need some constructive feedback. So if that's the case, always appreciated this feedback. Yeah, I think expectations are... A lot of people have way too high expectations. You don't have to play the class or the build in a real fight in raids or whatever perfectly. You just have to try to get well enough to actually be not a negative to your party. I really think so. Oh, how many people are there? At least 20. I'm not sure. I don't think they can actually kill those, but let's see. Apparently they try. That's I would say ambitious, very ambitious. Yeah, they vibed. I mean, it's possible. I think Guild Wars 2, if you have a high skill level, it's actually possible to kill like double the size of enemy squads. It's possible. It's not very likely, but it's possible. But players still lock groups behind certain KP thresholds, even if your point is true. Yeah, it is. I definitely see that. People are always saying, oh, I need to have 100 KP to actually join this group. Why? Not really a point there other than saying, yeah, we think it's better for the kill time. I think kill proof in Guild Wars 2 is a topic on its own, if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Either way, I think people are doing it, and I can't change that as a single content creator. And I think the community is like currently in a point where this will not change in the future. I cannot see if maybe Guild Wars 2, the ArenaNet devs, put something in the game to see how experienced someone is, but I highly doubt it, to be honest. Sadly, there's no real action going on. Very sad. Yeah, I can't roam around with this build really. I don't have any good gear to roam, and maybe we have some players that can... Nah, it's sadly no one here around to get some stuff on. Maybe we come back later to World vs. World. It's a little bit sad. I wanted to get some progress here with the Gift of Battle, but I don't know. If no real commanders are around, that is not the best then. Not the best. I don't know if that's always the case, but my build currently is the Soulbeast solo build 10 months ago. It would be cool if you can do a more detailed rotation and gameplay showcase and explain it more. The pod was like half a minute, and for veterans it might be clear. Yeah, so likely, I think that's a very, very good point, and a lot of people brought it up. And this is a 10-month-old video that you are referring to. That might not seem like a lot for you, but for me, I started my content creation scene career, whatever you want to call it, like roughly 13 months ago. So like a little bit more than a year ago. Yeah. So I started out and I like I'm still improving. And of course, my first videos are way worse than my current videos. So if you currently look at some kind of solo build guide or something, I have way larger sections about how the rotation works and stuff. So I definitely improved on that already. But I, of course, can't go back and make the whole video and say, oh, but now I have a better rotation part. I will at some point redo this video if there are some big changes and stuff, yeah. But right now it's still up to date. I need to improve on the rotation, that is true. But other than that, I think the video is still completely fine. And if all the new videos have a way longer rotation and more detailed rotation parts, so I think this is a criticism that I hopefully like already improved on. And I really hope that if that's not the case, you let me know as well, so that I can improve even further. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You know, starting out, my videos were, even if I look at them, I'm actually quite like, it's quite cringe to look at my old videos, to be honest, because some of them are like, I'm looking at them and think, oh my God, what did I do with this video? But you know, I did not know better at this point. So I tried to make my best, do my best there. And I think it was okay. But now I feel like I can do way better, way better. The pet is just killing me. That's good. The pet does more damage than the ranger. Now you have a lot of confusion, my friend. World vs. World is so rough before you get the rank and abilities unlocked. I think World vs. World is generally quite rough if you're not in a guild or some kind of bigger group. Because if you don't have any like commander to follow as a new player, you just get killed and farmed all the time. I really think so. Since we're on the topic of World vs. World, what other builds are as tanky as a spear harp? I really enjoy these playstyles. What is tanky? I mean, you can, if you're playing Necromancer the most, I think there are a decent chunk of Necromancer builds that you can play, like for example, some kind of Trailblazer. Reaper is quite tanky. Or if you play other classes as well, I would say Catalyst can be very tanky if you play Dagger Catalyst, for example. But I think every single class has a build that can be quite bruisery. So just let me know which class you want to play and I can give you some kind of specific build for those classes. Was in EU, I usually see more action in World vs. World a little later. Yeah, that is true. I noticed that as well. But I think it highly depends on the server you're on. If the guild's action is like happening in the morning or in the night, it is completely different. Sometimes I had servers that I was like checking if there is something going on in the World vs. World section of the game, like for days, every single evening, afternoon, and there was no one playing all the time. So that just happens as well. That's just the sad part. Sadly true. Exactly. You get very few pips in the beginning. It takes forever to level up that thing. So one big tip that I can give you is that you can get this commitment pip. Everyone can get that. So I started playing World vs. World this week. If I started the week before, I would get one more pip just for doing the wood division or completing the wood division in the first week that you start playing. So next week I will get 7 pips instead of 6. Well, currently I get 6. I could get less. But in general, it's like, of course, getting the rank up helps a lot. And if you want, you can even be a commander to get more pips. So pips is definitely something that increases your reward quite a bit. But you will always get some reward track progress. So it's not completely wasted of playing the time there. But of course, it's better if you get higher amount of pips. Definitely noticeable. Welcome, Arthur. Welcome. Howdy. I've seen your rival Power Mech video since I've played 450 hours and the game is so much more fun. That's good. Very good. I think Rival Mech is such an easy recommendation for newer players because it's so easy to get used to and it's very strong. You know, without DPS veterans that play on your player build because you have just so easy DPS uptime. It's really good. Really good. Yeah. I'm pretty sure your recent guides improved a lot. Probably just unlucky for me. I picked something which covered by an older guide. Yeah, that is true. It's quite sad, of course, if you notice my account or my YouTube channel, I mean, via some old video. That's quite sad, but I think the build is still valid. So if you're looking for a build, then it makes sense that this is still up there. But I think at some point I really want to remove all the videos that are outdated, or at least they are somewhat not as good, as well done as newer videos. So at some point I only want to have really good videos there, but I think it's really hard for me, as you might imagine. I already upload daily YouTube videos, to go back to older videos and redo all of them, especially because I don't even know if people are still interested in them, you know. Maybe the people that already watched the old video are not interested in the same video, just a little bit more I don't know, up to date or a little bit better edited. So I will try to do all the news videos and to get as much of the old content replaced with newer content, but I can't promise that I'll get every single video that was not up to today's standards. So welcome, Mason. Welcome, welcome. Warrior Bladestone action, but survive or tanky Berserker? So I would say tanky Berserker is really good. I think it's really underrated. You can play a full Trailblazer, for example. I have a guide about it in my YouTube channel. It's quite good. Not too long ago. It's about a full Condi Berserker. You play full Condi Berserker. It's really strong, especially in 101s. It's like one of the best 101 builds for Warrior to play in World vs. World, and it can be extremely strong in outnumbered situations as well. Depends a bit who you're playing against. Sometimes it will be a little bit more challenging, but I think it's a very, very strong pick. Bladestone, on the other hand, I would say can be a nasty tanky build, but it doesn't do any damage then, and I think that's also not what you want to play. Just playing a tank in World vs. World doesn't really provide you with any value, because what is you were just trolling the enemy team, yes, but you will not get any kills anyway. So I think it's better to go for Trailblazer Berserker. Yeah, it definitely is likely. Work on Yak Slapper. Yeah, that will take a while on this account. Yak Slapper is one of the most annoying achievements to get for sure. Ooh, there is a fight ongoing. Interesting. It's actually our team that is fighting. That's good. That's very good. Maybe we can get sneak some kills here. Some assists maybe. I don't know. Nice, we got them. Very good. That's what we want, you know, just helping players, and we get the loot as well. World vs. World, that's what we want. There's another player, very good. I think they are again a guild group, yeah. Beer Union, okay. So this is what I mean. There are some hidden techs. There is a commander, but they are hidden. It's not public, it's a private tech, so you can follow the people around, but you don't see where the commander is, and this is happening all the time nowadays, and that's obviously something that as a new player you will just not notice, and you know there is nothing going on because there's no tech on the map, but there actually is. You just have to find the people, and they want to play alone without any like randoms, but what can they do? I can just join their group and just like follow them around, but it's definitely something that is a little bit weird in Guild Wars 2 World vs. World right now. Do you know how to get into Harvest Temple CM as a very, very experienced player who was inactive when Harvest Temple CM was released? So you can join their Discord servers that are specifically designed for people that want to get this hard kills or challenge modes kills. So there are specific Discord servers that I would recommend joining. You can get all of the connections to those Discord servers via the Snowcrow's help desk. So that's also a Discord server where you can get all the help that you need to find groups and stuff. Yeah. But it doesn't matter if you're inexperienced or a very experienced player, you will get there at some point to those servers, because this is just the best resource to get more like-minded people. That's the main thing. Yeah. You're the reason I have a third alt now. Very good, very good. I like to hear that. More people playing on different characters and different accounts. That's what we need. Very good. Your old videos are fine. You were starting and you learned and improved. Thank goodness you started, so we can all learn and enjoy the stuff. That's good. Yeah, that's the right mindset. I always have the mindset, in my opinion, to always say, okay, I have to start somewhere, but if I have the mindset of improving, of always wanting to get better, then I hopefully get at some point very good content out that people will like, and hopefully I'm already at a point where it's quite good, and hopefully in the future I can improve it even more to make even better content for you, and hopefully everyone is happy about that. Very good. Do you know if the Fractaline Sparks will be obtainable after the event? Yes, I know that, and they will be obtainable. So you can just play the event after, or play the Fractal Quick Play after that, and you will have almost the same amount of time to unlock this stuff. So it's just a little bit, so to say, the event is just an incentive to get in there, but it's not necessary to get those Fractaline Sparks. You can do that forever. The same goes for the Legendary Gloves. The same goes for any reward that is attached to this specific event, except the stuff that you get from this Fractal Incursion event. This Fractal Incursion event here, this Fractal Incursion Champion, so this like big 22 tier even like achievement here, you will leave after this is done. I will always die. So you cannot get the legendary, for example, starter kit, the general universal one. You will only get that if you played during the event. I'm running most of the Celestial Booster gear, that is correct, yes. I don't really care too much, I'm just trying to support my allies here with heals and boons. So it does not really matter if the Celestial Booster gear is good enough for the most part. That's good, that's good. I want more new players in the game, that's what we like. And returning players are obviously also very helpful. We need more players in the game. It doesn't matter if you're new, veteran, returning, we just need more players. Oh my god. They got the pull on me. I'm not sure. Hopefully we fight them at some point. Because there are not that many. We could fight them, to be honest. Those types of groups are pretty easy to follow around in World vs. World. Exactly, they are quite easy to follow around. You just have to find them. I think that's for me that's a little bit more challenging to some extent. Okay, now we turn. Okay, I guess that's good enough for me. Nice, get some kills. That's easy World vs. World XP for me here. That's just very easy, and that helps me to upkeep my participation while also, of course, leveling my World vs. World rank. Very good. Oh, they put the siege down. That's like next level DMing, I guess. Classic World vs. World behavior. Do you have any recommendations, ways to farm spirit shards? If you can wait a month, then the best event is happening, which is the Labyrinth farm. So Halloween Labyrinth farm is like probably the best event to farm spirit shards. You just kill mobs over and over 24/7. You get an amazing amount of spirit shards if you just get all the boosters up and stuff. Before that, if you can't wait for that, then farming all Living World Season 4 maps is a good way. The meta events, that is. But experience is very all abundant in Guild Wars 2. It's just more like you have to find an event that you can farm 24/7, and that's where the Mad King's Labyrinth farm comes in, because this is an event that you can farm 24/7. It's crazy. It's really good. You're already at a point. Very good point. That's good. That's what we want to hear. Welcome, Dingo. Welcome. You probably said it already, but I was AFK, so I'll ask again. What build are you running in World vs. World right now? It's just the classic World vs. World Zerg Chronomancer that I'm running, because I'm in some kind of Zerg. I just don't have the perfect gear for it, so I'm running the gear that I have, which is Celestial mostly. So I'm using that because that's the only one that I have right now. But the build itself, I can show you, is like Chaos Inspiration Chronomancer, very supportive, a lot of super speed access, a lot of boons. That's the main thing. I don't have the perfect gear for it, but it's, like I said, good enough. At least for what I want to do. I don't want to like be a crazy tryhard and carry my squad or something. I'm just here to get some loot and have some fun, while also leveling, of course, my World vs. World reward check. I started Guild Wars 2 again, had a 9-year break. Wow, crazy. Very good. Glad that you're back. I really like the game now. That's what we want to hear. I think there were a lot of improvements since back then. I really think the game got way better over the course of time, especially for new players, and just currently the event is really good, the Fractal event, so there's a lot of cool stuff. I think we will vibe. I think there are too many here. I'm pretty sure about this. I mean, we got a kill already. Not bad. Maybe we can get some pull here. Nope. All immune. Oh man, they got quite a good push in us, to be honest. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think now we are done. We are done. Yeah, that's okay. That's the classic World vs. World experience. If they are more than you, it's quite likely they will win. It's fine. It's fine. We got some kills. That's not completely true, Filthy. That's the cool part about World vs. World, or how it works. You can get... I don't need to take anybody with my sword. I can just like activate and get some wounds and some healing to my allies. And if the ally kills an enemy, I will get the loot as well. So that helps me just in the long run. That's why I'm playing a support build. I don't need to do a lot of damage. I just need to apply wounds and healing to my allies around me, and it will be good enough. That's why I play this build. Yeah, I was doing map completion earlier on this account as well, and I can tell you it takes a while, but it's not too bad, to be honest. And then you can actually get your legendary, so that's really cool. Yeah, it also works in World vs. World. It's a little bit different for the events. So if you want to get the defense event for a keep or something, then you need to also hit an enemy once at least. It doesn't need to be like 12k hit or something. If it's like 100 or something, it's completely fine. You just need to hit someone and then you will be good. For the normal fights, you can just apply wounds. That's good enough. But for the defense events, you need the attacks, at least one. I started again 2 after leaving while they started Heart of Zones, so really long time ago, but now I love it again. Got even a legendary because of the new fractal event. Perfect. Perfect. That's what we need. More players coming back to the game and actually enjoying it so they can stick around, hopefully enjoying the new expansion coming up very soon as well. That's what we like. That's what we want. Very good. But as always, if you have any questions, just let me know. I try to answer all of them. No, it's actually this spoon sharing, loot sharing is actually something that was introduced first, as far as I know, in World vs. World. Because in World vs. World, it was way more common that players didn't do any damage because you always had like soldier gear, minstrel gear, all that stuff. And you, of course, want to have people to have the playing support as well. So I think it was first introduced there. In Guild Wars 2 PvE, it was somewhat late when they introduced that, as far as I know. Let's get the World vs. World experience booster ready. Do we have anything else? Don't have any food, sadly. Ascended food would be really good here. But okay. We take what we can get. We take what we can get. This should give me the level here, I think. Maybe. If we're lucky. We will see. I'm not technically new to Guild Wars 2, but I'm new to ecto gambling. Is it a terrible idea to gamble for the merchant? So the wiki itself has obviously the average stats. So if you on average just want to get the merchant in, like, you will have to pay like 300 gold, which is not too bad, to be honest. But you can get lucky and make profit. You can get unlucky and it will take 1000 gold instead of 300 gold to get the merchant. I did it on my main account once to get this permanent merchant. I think the merchant is a good idea. But as soon as you reach this 100 tries or how many you need for the merchant, I would instantly stop. Instantly. Because on average, you will lose money with ecto gambling. So on average, it's just stupid to do it. Yes, you could get lucky and make thousands of gold profit, but it's quite unlikely. So I would say do the merchant if you don't have it yet, because it's a good item. But as soon as you have it, instantly stop. That's my advice there. That's good, that's good. Guild Wars 2 has a lot of not a lot of, but some very dedicated and active content creators on YouTube. So I think that's a good part of why Guild Wars 2 is actually somewhat like active and people really like to come back to the game. I think it's actually booming somewhat. Yeah, I think that's good. That's what we need. Yeah, that's true. You know, 99% of the gamblers stop just before they win big. Yeah, so that's true. That's absolutely true. But I would say on average, it's just like the data suggests, the statistics tell you will lose on an average. So I can tell you better not do it, but maybe you feel lucky, then who am I to tell you to stop gambling? Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it though. I'm fine with it costing 1k gold because the permanent merchant on TP is also 1k gold. Yes, I agree. That's why I got it in the first place on my main account as well, because it's like a very, very good. It's even better to some extent. No, it's not better, but it's somewhat similar and it's quite easy to get with the ecto gambling. So I think it's actually a very worthwhile thing. I wouldn't go for both of them because there exist 2 of the ecto gambling things. I think one of them is good enough. But yeah, definitely I think a worthwhile investment if you are a veteran account and have the money to spare. Yep, I agree. Does someone by any chance when the fishing rod will get fixed? I have no clue when it will get fixed. I think ArenaNet is actually quite fast with the fixes for gem store items because that's obviously something that is directly cutting into their profit. So I guess we will get something like that very soon. But I have no inside information or something. I can't tell you. I don't know. Hopefully get the keep here as well. That would be awesome. It is a tier 3 keep. So really, really good if you could turn this. But for now, let's try to stick with farming some random enemies that drop from the sky. The classic in World vs. World. No, don't stun me. Okay. So if I would be in the squad, I would receive more boons, more healing. I'm not, so I have to be a little bit careful and self-sufficient, I would say, to some extent. But for now, I'm living. Hopefully that stays like that and I can get some good loot. No, not stomping. Ooh, I was tethered. That's annoying. Good enough, we get some... Ooh, you see, I just give some boons and I will get those kills here, even though I was never there. I will still get the kill. That's really good participation for the kills. That's what we like. It's actually better action than yesterday, to be honest. Yesterday we were in EBG and were farmed all the time. Now we actually farm back, I guess. At least a bit. That's good. This is a scary jump, to be honest. Oh, I might hit. I'm dead. There are a lot of people here. That's crazy. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We can respawn. But yeah, if you have any questions, any comments, let me know. Other than that, we will just try to continue to farm some World vs. World here. And you can see the progress is actually really good right now. I get some nice loot, some gold. Guild Wars 2 World vs. World nowadays actually gives decent amount of gold. I would say it's like at least 10 gold per hour. If you are farming quite effectively, it's probably even more than that. You can probably go higher depending on what reward track you have, how many pips you get. But you actually get a nice chunk of gold while also getting, of course, that's what I need here, those Jade Heroics. I need 20 more and I can finally unlock my rival for Mesmer in general. That's really nice. And where's the vendor? There is this vendor. Is it this one? Check. Somewhere here. I can purchase it. So I can unlock it without playing the story. That's the big thing here. I don't want to play the story. Now I have to go back. That's a little bit, that's painful, to be honest. Maybe I capture the camp instead. But I don't know where they are, so I will just like run around the map like headlessly and might not find where they actually are and die all the time because I can't really fight in roaming. So that's a little bit sad. But I guess I capture the camp and hope they will respawn at some point. Also, I recently watched a video from about 4 months ago on best classes for Fractals. I thought Firebrand was dethroned by Chronomancer because I almost never see Firebrands in my runs, which is a shame because I like them. So I think this is an interesting, I would say, dilemma to some extent, because Firebrand is a class that is, if you play it very well, one of the best classes for Fractals. I'm not joking. It's just, you can play it as a DPS Firebrand, you can play it as a quickness Firebrand, you can play as a full heal Firebrand. All of those are amazing, like really good. The problem is you have to be good to make it work. As soon as you are decent and not good enough, it falls off drastically. And Chronomancer is a very easy to learn to get into healer. And Chronomancer is, because of that, superior to Firebrand for like 99% of the parties that you play with. If you are in a really dedicated, try-hard static group or something, then it is, oh my god, I get the blink maybe. Yeah, very good. Then Chronomancer might not be the best option anymore, because you can play a Celestial Firebrand as a healer and do actually do some damage while also providing quickness and heals and stability and H's. So it's really, really strong if you have a good, dedicated group that knows what they are doing. But as soon as you are somewhat in a pack group like I am all the time, and you might not know if the healer is a Firebrand and they don't know how to position correctly, how to heal correctly, then you definitely notice that Firebrand is just quite bad. And that's why I would say Firebrand is, for good players, really good. For mediocre to bad players, a very bad choice, because it will just not work out in that regard. And Chronomancer is way easier. Chronomancer, you can just carry your group even if you don't know everything. That's my point here. I was an open world enjoyer, but last week I've stuck in EBG. I mean, I think Guild Wars 2 World vs. World can be very friendly to open world enjoyers as well. I think it's like, after all, some kind of game mode where you fight open world, just you fight not enemy NPCs, but you fight actually real players. So why not give it a try? I think I can just recommend it. Maybe you will get stuck as well. Like, I think that's a really cool thing about the Gift of Battle, for example. Ooh, a Berserker's Ring. That's a good find. Very good find. 5 gold. That's what we take. We take that. But yeah, I think Guild Wars 2, coming from an open world player, I think it's quite likely that you will actually enjoy open world versus world fights as well. I really think so. And you have to give it a try, otherwise you might not know. They should sold a Battle Royale round mod for Guild Wars 2. That would be fun. I think, to be honest, that would be a very interesting idea. Maybe they should bring out some kind of like push. Instead of push, they should have gone for a different game mode. That would be, and that could have been a Battle Royale. I guess they already have to some extent a Battle Royale, and they were like really early with that. If you don't know, there is a mini event, or not, it's not an event, but it's like some kind of activity that you can do, which is called South Sun Survival. And this that came out with South Sun Cove, which is a over 10-year-old map. And that is actually some kind of Battle Royale to some extent, last one standing, whatever. And you have to just kill all the enemies with finding the loot, or with getting some loot like a bow, getting an arrow, getting a knife, getting some food to recover, stuff like that, in some kind of south, like tropical island style. And this is a very fun event. I played it quite a bit when it came out. Nowadays, not that many players play it anymore, but it's a fun version. It's really like, there we go, we found them again. I would recommend it. Give it a try. You will probably like it. Hopefully we find enough players to play it with, but it's really fun. And if they would push those activities that are already in the game, but fun, a little bit more, why not? Why not? I'm with you there. I'm with you there. Okay. Nice, we got the first emblem of the Avenger. That's what you need for the legendary trinket. Very good. I don't go for it yet, but at some point we will go for it. So we need a little bit more of those tokens, I think. We are now at 86, so I think like 3 more levels or so, then we should have it. And we can finally play that. I think we also have to level more world versus world rings. What do we need here? Out of Thorns recipes. Is that the other one that we need? Probably not. I'm not sure where I need to get this. Maybe on this one. Okay, that's where you can get the nice stat selectable gear, which is obviously really good. So if you need stat selectable gear, play a little bit of world versus world, and you can see I can purchase like almost a full set of stat selectable exotic gear. Really, really good. Is Rival Mesmer good in open world? I would say if you want to play a healer, it is the best, a really good healer. But in open world, if you don't have any party members around, it's not really good because it doesn't deal that much damage on its own. So I would say it can be good if you have party members, but as soon as you are solo, I think it's really bad because it's like a full healer. It does not provide any damage. It doesn't matter what kind of build you're running. A rival is never dealing a lot of damage on Mesmer. So you want to probably just find a group and play it there. Then you can have fun in the open world if you have meta events and stuff. But before that, I would not really recommend playing it alone. Yeah. Hope that answers your question, Pokemon Battles. Okay, we found the group again. Hopefully we can get some more fights. It would be good. Oh, there are even more players here. That's crazy. Another group. Okay, get out of there. I don't want to fight. Let's go back to my setup for, I guess, supporting the squad. I guess that's what we want. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm always happy to help new players or veterans give some answers to questions that they are like in dire need of getting answers to. I can't promise you that I will have the answers, but I will try my best. Okay. I'm really excited for the expansion though. I'm really, really excited. I can't wait until the expansion drops, make more build guides about all the new specs. Hopefully we get some new, maybe even gear stats, but I really hope that we get some really cool new relics. That's pretty much confirmed that we get new relics, but I hope they will be really cool and maybe game-changing without being too broken. I hope we get some really fun new events that I can make guides about. But I, of course, also want to do tier lists. You know, I'm very excited. You know, I am tier list enjoyer. I will do tier lists here on stream. I will YouTube videos about it. And it will be quite fun, I would say. Doing tier lists with not 27, but 36 elite specs. Yeah, 4 times 9. That will be exciting times, even with the core classes, even more than that. So 45 things to rate. That will be really, really exciting. There will probably be a build for every single, or a spec for every single player that enjoys the game. That will be really fun. I can't wait until this like drops and I can do some really cool research and just try out some different builds. Yeah, that's exciting, very exciting. But until then, we will farm here a lot for this account. I think we have some good progress already. I really do. So I think we have 200 gold. With the starter kits, we have probably around like, I don't know. We need like 200 to 400 more gold to purchase everything for the legendary, and then we are there. Then we are good. That's already quite good progress. I'm not even 1 month in now, so I'm happy with what I achieved so far. Quite good progress. I was also lucky with the fractal event, of course, that this was just happening. But I mean, there's always something for a new player that helps you out to get even faster to the specific part. Oh no, only 16 seconds. I will pop another one, come on. Your excitement is great, but no idea about what 90% of that means. That is fine, that is fine. You know, you will just try to get better at the game, try to have fun, and you will understand more of what I'm saying, hopefully. You know, hopefully it's not a language problem of my pronunciation or something, but I think you will probably understand more why I'm talking and why I'm so excited about the coming expansion. I think you will notice that if you continue watching streamers, hopefully my stream, my YouTube videos, then you will understand why the new expansion might be very cool and why very entertaining, even for someone that is somewhat new to the game. What are your thoughts on the Mesmer spec? So the new Mesmer spec I think seems very, very strong, and I first thought it might be somewhat boring, but after trying it in the beta event, I was actually quite happy that it's not too boring. So I'm quite excited, and I will give it a big try, of course, and will play it quite extensively, because you can play it as a full DPS, a Condi DPS, an open world solo build, as a boon DPS, you can play it as a full healer. It's very flexible, even in PvP. I think it's one of the best specs they put out with this expansion. Yeah, I really think so. Hey man, as a long time WoW PvPer, are there any classes that mimic that kind of slower gameplay? I have Revenant, but I'm so focused on rotation that I can't focus on other people's skills. Looking for something basic that doesn't require... Okay, that's interesting. So, what is like a rather slow class that is also efficient in World versus in PvP specifically? I guess you can play maybe Necromancer. I think like Condition Necromancer, Condition Reaper specifically, or Condition Core Necromancer is, in my opinion, quite slow, but very good at the current meta. And it is focused on killing the opponent in a rather like slow fashion. So that means that you apply a lot of pressure dots, so damage over time effects to the opponent, and you are quite tanky but somewhat slow, and you just apply damage over damage over damage, and at some point they will crumble. That's how it works. And it's really good in team fights, but can also hold its own. So I think it's probably a choice that I would recommend. I play it a lot. I like this kind of playstyle. I'm not someone that likes to play like bam and it's done. No, I want to have a fight where I can slowly like kill the enemy by outplaying it consistently. So I think maybe give that one a try. I would recommend it. Yeah. What do you need the Jade Heroics for? So there is an item or an unlock that you can get, which unlocks the rival usage for my Mesmer. Otherwise, you cannot get access to this expanded weapon proficiency, which means that you can use a rival on Mesmer, that you can use pistols on Guardian, that kind of stuff. That is normally unlocked via doing the story in PvE to some extent. And I don't want to do like 5 hours of story. So I just play World versus World, which I anyway need for the legendary weapon that I want to craft. And I will get those anyway, and then I can just sell it or buy it here rather. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I need them. Do you have any form of checklist for the Hero Zero tiers? Would be cool to see what you achieved so far. Yes, I will do a video. I want to do a video after exactly 1 month where I have my checklist and I want to say this is checked, this is checked, this is checked. And I will continue this checklist probably after I reach 100 hours on this account. And of course, when I achieved my goal, how long it took me to reach like the legendary weapon that I wanted to craft. So yes, I have a checklist and I will make a video about this, how much I achieved already, what's still on there, stuff like that. Yes. That's a no-no word. No, we need a lot of fun. You know, fun is the most important part about gaming. If you don't have fun playing a game, you should probably stop playing it. That's fine. You know, if you have like only a couple of hours, 100 hours in Guild Wars 2, it's not a problem. You know, just ask if you have any questions that you can formulate. And if you don't know what you even want to ask, then don't worry about it. At some point, oh my god, that was a nasty pull. At some point, you will get better at the game and understand more of what I'm saying and what other content creators are talking about. Just enjoy the ride that you have, enjoy the journey that you have, and you will have more fun as soon as you understand more of the game. And if you already have a lot of fun, even better. That's what I can tell you. Yes, sorry for my bad pronunciation. Yes, the weapon. That's what I want to unlock, the rival weapon. I wonder if Shout support Paragon would be a thing. Yes, I think so. I tried it in the beta event. It's really good in competitive modes, and I think it will be quite decent in PvE as well. I'm not sure if it in PvE is the meta build though. Might be something else, but in PvP it's definitely the meta build, playing a Shout Paragon. Like World vs. World PvP, it's extremely strong. You spam your shouts like crazy and you have a lot of like agency in fights. It's really, really good. How many hours am I deep? I will show that. I can type /H. You can see I'm 61 hours and 40 minutes. So I'm quite. I played quite a lot on this account, but I'm like 1 month in or something. So not too bad, not too bad. And my progress is quite good, I would say. Most of the time I played on this character. That's quite fun to see. Nice, we have a fight here. Hopefully, maybe, we will see. In your opinion, which of the Mesmer specs is the best in open world? It depends. If you want to play like solo open world, then I would say the best one is either Mirage or Chronomancer. If you play in a group, then I would say probably Virtuoso is the best. But it depends heavily what you want to play. I think if you have the best overall class that you want to play in open world for Mesmer, then I think Chronomancer might be the best pick. You can have a very good solo build, while also having very good group boon DPS build. So I think probably Chronomancer. Are we porting? Or are we just like... Okay, we are fighting. Yeah, very good. We are fighting. Is this 0 to 0 PUF and Heart of Thorns only? So on this account, I have all the expansions because I think it is not like necessary to make it like restricted in a way. But you are right, I could restrict it to some extent, but it doesn't. Oh, that was a very good push. Crazy. We killed a lot of people there. But I'm not sure if I can survive. Okay, I guess I will just try to stay alive here. I think we lost that one. We had a chance actually. They had a good spike, to be honest. I mean, it's not. Yeah, now it's over. And they have another group here. That's crazy. They have a lot of players. That's sad. But what can I do? That happens. Yeah, but I have on this account all like things unlocked, all expansions, but I don't use all of them. So I just want to have the easiest time possible, but you can't get everything that I'm doing here without having all the expansions. Just ask what your problem is and I will try to find a way around it. Okay, good point. I will try Mason, but my pronunciation, I was already in school when I learned English. I was always very bad at pronouncing stuff. You know, when I wrote something in English, when I listened to people talking in English, it was always way easier than having the perfect pronunciation. But I always take, of course, feedback and I will try to put it in, but sometimes my brain is just not wired that way that I can get it directly correctly. What's the difference in DPS roles? So in Guild Wars 2, there are, I would say, like 2.5 DPS roles. So either you go for full DPS or you go for a boon DPS. A boon DPS is a support to some extent because it provides one essential boon to its party in PvE, which is full like alacrity uptime or full quickness uptime. One of those two. You can't provide both of them to your party. So to yourself and for other people. If you play a full DPS, you just want to deal as much damage as possible, and you could split this full DPS role in 2 different roles, which would be like Condi DPS or Power DPS, but this is an unnecessary distinction, I would say. So those builds exist, yeah. So if you would have to play as a Zerg Mesmer, however, the restrictions is only Path of Fire and Heart of Thorns, then I would play Chronomancer. Like, without a doubt, play Chronomancer, play the build that I'm currently playing, and play with, like, Sword Shield and, I guess, Rifle. Exactly. That's what you need, what you would play. And you would play those traits. Like, and you would probably not need anything else than Heart of Thorns. Yeah. That's not true. Soto is required to get the rifle, but if you don't have that, then you can easily use a staff. I would say staff with, staff with a sword shield, probably good enough. It's more about your utility skills and stuff that you use. That's more important, I would say. Okay, is that also? No, it's recharging 100%. Very good. Exactly. Yeah, you can't play. I always forget, this expansion gives that, this expansion gives that. It's a little bit annoying, to be honest, in Guild Wars 2, especially if you are competitive. Oh my god, that was a nasty corrupt into pull. Very good. Trailblazer Paragon with Relic of the Reaper support allies plus chill for enemies. That's next level theory crafting, to be honest. The problem is with Trailblazer and Paragon in general, or Warrior in general, you cannot play Bladesworn, Spellbreaker, or Paragon as a Condi DPS or Condi anything. So Trailblazer would be a wasted stat there. Yes, I see the idea there because just the chill gets longer duration. I see. But is it really required or necessary or even good? No, it's not. The problem is, like, the only good Condi spec that you have on Warrior is Berserker, and that will stay like that when the expansion drops. That's just how it is. The traits don't support a Condi Paragon or a Condi Bladesworn or Condi Spellbreaker. It's just not in the kit. You can force it, yes, of course you can do that, but it will not really like be a solid pick. It will not. It will maybe work to some extent, but it's more like a niche build. Yeah, great sort of stuff, exactly. You still need to unlock Warclaw in World vs. World. I think you will get it instantly as soon as you level up to level 1 or something, or level 2. I did not have to unlock it. I think you will get it instantly. I think if with the first level you can unlock the Warclaw. You don't have to do an achievement for that, as far as I know. That's quite nice, because in the beginning it was quite annoying to get the World vs. World stuff. Okay, I guess let's check out some Eternal Battlegrounds. Apparently there's something going on. Let's try to get there. Exactly, you instantly get it, and you will also unlock it in PvE, I think. So that's quite cool. Okay, there's nothing going on here. That's sad. Quite sad, to be honest. Nothing going on. What's happening here? Yeah, it's only on EBG, and I'm not sure if I can get to Eternal Battlegrounds in time. Oftentimes it leads like half an hour or something until the queue resolves, which is obviously not very fun. Okay, let's get this here. Maybe we play in the meantime some PvE, because that's what we also want to get done. Maybe I think we can unlock it now. I'm pretty sure we have enough. 105. Very good. We have it. Let's double check. Let's double check how it's called. And where I can get it, which vendor it is. Are they running somewhere? Yeah, I think they are doing something. It's a group. There are so many private tags. This is now Liz, whatever this is. It's really annoying. I can only get it. Wait, let's check. Okay. How is it? There is a story channel, and then in which one is it? In the secret. Oh, that's so annoying, to be honest. I have to do some parts of the story to unlock it. Oh my god. That's what I mean. It's so bad. To unlock this weapon, I have to play this story, 2 more story pieces, and start this one. So I have to do like 3 story pieces. It's so bad. It's so annoying. I can't play Mesmer with the perfect build, especially Boon Chronomancer, if I don't play more story. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. It's annoying. That's actually crazy. Maybe I have to do the story part, but I anyway need the gift of battle, so maybe I get some more until I get this. But that's crazy. I think that's one of the biggest criticisms that I have in the new player experience, is that you cannot get some stuff that is, in my opinion, very fun to use. You have to play like a lot, either story, mastery unlocks, and stuff like that. And I think that is not very smart design-wise. A new player wants to play the cool new stuff directly. And if you want to continue with the story and stuff, sure, go for it. But I think you should not be like forced. You should not be forced to play the story or play all the like achievements or masteries or whatever to unlock a specific part of the gameplay loop. I think that's not good, healthy design, at least in my opinion. Very good. Very good, Call Me. Good job. Not yet, not yet. That's true. It's good. It's definitely good. I definitely get to see what are problems in Guild Wars 2's like new player experience for sure. I definitely see that. I definitely do. But at least I get some nice progress here and get some more Mystic Clovers, get some general like useful stuff like amalgamated gemstones, some more obsidian shards. I need anyway a lot of those. And yeah, it's not too bad. So now I just lost the group. Where did they go? Maybe I can find them. Yeah, I was actually, I thought you could do the collection, but I thought you could complete this like part of the story instantly, but you have to do like this part and then this part, and it's quite annoying, to be honest. But what can I do? Maybe I just have to do it, I guess. Yeah, I think it's getting slightly better with the newer expansion. I think at least I remembered that the spear unlock in PvE was way faster than the unlock of this expanded weapon proficiency. But it's still not perfect. I really think so. It still needs some improvement. I think if you want to play the new elite specs and to purchase the expansion, you should get them day one. So that in the new maps, you can explore the new maps with the new elite specs. Because that's what you actually like to play. You want to play the new maps with the new spec. You don't want to play the new maps with the spec that you played 100 hours already. I think that's just not what you want to do. No one wants that, I think. Yeah, I know there is some like roleplay aspect that you learn it slowly, but you can still have some roleplay aspects and some kind of achievements where you can get some more lore behind the spec or whatever. I think that can still exist, but I think everyone wants to get the gameplay features directly and doesn't want to play like 10 or let's say 5 to 10 hours of random gameplay that you don't really need to do any other way. Yeah, see you, Arthur. See you. How long does it take to unlock the weapon mastery from Soto? So the weapon mastery itself, not the expanded one, but the weapon mastery training or however it's called, that one I think you can unlock somewhat fast. I did it like in like 1 hour or something, but the expanded weapon proficiency, so that you can use pistols on Guardian or something, this is a little bit more annoying. That takes like at least 3 hours, I would say, maybe longer. I will see. Any general tips on World vs. Worlds besides stay with the group? So if you're new to World vs. World, I would say try to find a bigger circle, so at least like 10 to 20 people, maybe even more, so that you have just a lot of people to follow around, and then just try to stay alive, play something tanky, try to play something that doesn't die instantly, so you don't get punished all the time. Other than that, I think you will get better with time and maybe watch some guides on YouTube that explain specifically how World vs. World, the specific build works. You can check out my YouTube channel. I have a guide about how to get into World vs. World. Stuff like that helps. But other than that, it's really just try to be improving all the time and just try to get it better by playing more. Just spend more time and be patient. That's my tip there. It's really sad. There is not really... Oh, there is another commander there. Not sure if I can get there though. Without getting ganked. Let's see. This is not Fractals, yeah? That is correct, Caspi. This is my new account, my Zero to Hero account, where I want to level my character to get a legendary, exactly. We will play some Fractals later, don't worry. It's just a good gold farm. You cannot skip Fractals a day. It's not what you can do. And let's get some random gear here and salvage it instantly. Very good. Hopefully I don't get ganked. I don't want to fight with this build. Not good. Yeah, get some boosters. Yeah, I have some boosters lying around. I have like mini XP boosters and I have some World vs. World boosters or some normal experience boosters as well. I'm not sure if I want to waste them right now because I already have one active for 1 more minute. But at least next time we pod back to spawn, I guess we will do that. Welcome, Satro. Welcome. Do you have any advice on unlocking the Sky Scale? So there are 2 ways to unlock the Sky Scale. You can do it via the Soto expansion, which is the, I would say, faster way. And then you can do it with the quite annoying way of doing it in Living World Season 4. It's completely fine to do it either way, depending on what kind of expansion you have. If you want to get all the features that the Sky Scale potentially has access to, with all the cool, like, crazy, I don't know, fireballs and wall jumps and stuff, then the best way of getting both. But other than that, I would say probably go for Soto. If you want to unlock the Sky Scale and don't care about all the possibilities, then getting the Soto one is probably the best option. Glad to hear that, Onio. Glad to hear that. Yeah, and of course, if you want to play World vs. World more actively, then not only playing it for the gift of battle, then joining any kind of guild group that has some kind of training or helps you out there and tells you how to play this game mode, have some fun together, is always recommended. Because that's in the long run helping you way more than if you would play like alone all the time and you will not know what kind of group you should run with, and you will probably also just have more fun. So it's always something that I would recommend. Just finding a group of like-minded people. That goes for all game modes, but it's very, very noticeable in World vs. World. So if you have like a squad like this running around, it's way more fun to play with them in Discord and stuff than if you would just sit randomly like silent at home and try to understand what's actually going on. Because you can ask questions, you will get some answers hopefully from them as well. So that's always better in the long run. Ooh, that's a tier 3 tower. Very good. This gives a lot of experience. Very good. Do you have any tip on how to duel Reaper when I play Willbender? So Reapers have, like, I would say it's like a very interesting matchup because Reapers can easily kill a Willbender, but a Willbender can also easily kill a Guardian, or a Reaper rather. So they can kill each other very easily. But the thing is, you need to understand what the weaknesses are. A Reaper with a full Shroud is a Reaper that you don't want to fight. So as soon as a Reaper goes into Shroud, kite them, because they are melee only. So you run away, because you're faster. If they leave Shroud, they are vulnerable. They are a ranged spec that is quite slow. So they switch, so to say, their stances. In Shroud, they are melee and fast to some extent. Out of Shroud, they are slower and ranged. And as soon as they go out of Shroud, they are killable. As soon as they in Shroud, you just try to disengage. But in general, it's like you focus on trying to burst them down while they are, so to say, not really aware. Because Willbender's biggest strength is just having a lot of burst damage. If you can connect those burst damage spikes, then in the long run, you will win the matchup. If you cannot connect it, or if you get counter-spiked with conditions, you will lose the matchup. So to deal with this, I would say go in if they are not in Shroud and play really aggressively. As soon as they go into Shroud, you kite them because you're faster. You run away from them so they cannot hit them you with their melee skills. That's one of the biggest things. Other than that, it's just like you have to play and just play more and you will understand it more. Just that's one of the biggest tips and a very boring tip I can give all competitive modes enjoyers. If you play more, you will get better. That's just straight up true. If you have the mindset of improving, playing more makes you better. Yes, Living World Season 4 is connected to Path of Fire. That is correct. That is correct. Yeah, it's definitely, if you do it the old way, then you will notice that it's really something that you really like to unlock. It's definitely something that is, you feel the difference. Nice, we port back to spawn and I can get some experience booster, hopefully. Come on, let me out of combat. There we go. What's an easy power DPS build for Fractals? I would say Power Reaper or Power Scrapper are very solid picks. They are really strong, have really safe defensives in there, and just a very solid pick overall. I would recommend going for one of those two. But there are so many good builds nowadays. So many good ones. Another one. Very good. I'm always happy to help. Welcome, Snowdrop. Welcome, welcome. Hope you all had a nice day. And let's enjoy some more Guild Wars 2 content together. We are getting somewhere, like 28. Not bad, not bad. What's going on here? Oh, they are attacking. Nice. Get some pull maybe? No, dagger storming. Unlucky. Very unlucky. Today it's actually way more going on, to be honest. Way more world versus world action. Oh, there are a lot of people. Hopefully we can get the defense event here. That would be nice. This is a tier 3 tower, so the defense event, if we defend it, will give us more experience than if it would only be tier 0 or something. So that's really cool. And to get this unlocked, I just have to get some hits on the mobs, on the enemies here. So now I just hit them. Good enough. There is a portal. That's interesting. Okay. There is actually some kind of lag going. That's a little bit sad. Not too much. Not too much. Okay. 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 That's a interesting position to fight. I think the enemy team is strolling a bit. Why do we have the higher position here and they just don't push? That's not where they want to be, to be honest. Because higher position is in competitive modes always the better position. You never want to be on the enemy. Or we push and now we killed him probably. Yeah, that's a good one. That's tasty. Let's activate the boost. Almost forgot. Almost forgot just before we get some kills, because then we get some nice world versus world experience. That's tasty, tasty, tasty. Very good. You can see if you have a good commander like we had here and we have a really good position to fight them and they did not push, they should have pushed in, I would say. If they pushed instantly, it would have been a 50-50 fight. But if you have the higher position and hold it for a minute, they cannot out-sustain us there. Because they can't connect their damage while we can't connect our damage and our heals are the same. It's just not a position to be in. Very good. Very nice. Yeah, I think the Soto one is definitely easier. I really think so. It's way easier to get the Soto Sky skill. Does all the XP you earn in World vs. World just automatically translate into reward track progress? No. So that's really weird. In World vs. World, you have two separate parts of rewards. You have the World vs. World experience that you can see here, like in the bottom, and you can open this in rank and abilities tab. And this just gives, at the end of leveling up, every 5,000 experience that you earn after reaching level 5 gets exactly 5k. And that means that you get one chest that gives around like 25 to 35 silver plus some other rewards. That's it. That's the first build. The second one is reward track. Reward track gain, you will get this, whatever you select there, and you will get also pips every 5 minutes when you are in World vs. World and have the participation. You get some progress here, which translates into getting more reward track progress, and that will give you the specific loot. Like I'm going here for the Gift of Battle, that's what I will get at some point. That's how this works. So there are two different reward structures in place in World vs. World. Welcome, Lashi. No, I'm just playing with them. I'm not in their guild, but I'm just like I'm just joining random players here, and currently I'm with Psy, yes, but I'm not in their guild or anything. I'm just playing here for getting some World vs. World experience and some more progress for my Gift of Battle. Now, there are not two Skyscales, but Skyscale was originally released likely in, I don't know, when Path of Fire came to the final map that was released with Path of Fire, which was Living World Season 4, Dragonfall. There was a way to get the Skyscale. That was the first time Skyscale was released, so to say, and there you have to do like some crazy collections that take a while to do. It's just a grind. And as soon as like a lot of players wanted to get this, but ArenaNet realized it's not really feasible to say a new player has to go for all the expansions, they thought, okay, maybe give the Skyscale some new features and put it into another expansion on top of that. So they put it into Soto, and in Soto it's like the featured mount. The same goes for example, the Warclaw for Chantervalds and the Skimmer for Visions of Eternity. And those are mounts that already exist in the game, but they get some kind of upgrade if you have both of the masteries leveled. And if you only have Soto, for example, you can actually get the Skyscale without having to go to Path of Fire and unlock it there. So there are two ways to acquire it, but you will get the same mount. And you can actually, if you have both methods unlocked, you will get a little bit more value from the Skyscale. That's it. If you can manage your mech to be always with you, you can do a lot of power DPS with range and easy rotation. That is a good point, yes. You can do that with Mechanist. Can I progress expansion masteries doing fractals? No, fractals are only core. There is no way of getting any experience for other thing than core and fractals. So sadly not. So the reward track is simply time gated and personal preference does not slow it down? Yes. It's as long as you have the highest participation and keep it up, which you can do if you kept one camp every 10 minutes, then there is nothing really to speed it up. There are some ways, yeah, some niche things to do it and use boosters and stuff, but it's really like time gated. It's just, it takes a while, yeah. And the World vs. World experience is obviously heavily dependent on what kind of content you do. If you kill a lot of enemies, if you keep a lot of Stone Mist castles or stuff like that, then you get immense amount of experience. If you just run around and kill one player every 10 minutes in a 1-on-1, then you get way less experience. So it heavily depends on the content. That's good. That's good. You can speed it up, the reward track, for example, getting, yeah, let's say, some more pips and getting this, and then you get some instant reward track progress. So there is some way to speed it up. If you have a higher pip gain per week, that can be done. But in general, it's just time gated. You just have to wait for at least 6 hours. If you have no boosts or something, then you need like 6 hours or even more to get the full reward track. But if you have the maximum amount of boosts, then it needs only 3.5 hours. So it can be quite fast if you know what you're doing. Just start with following a commander squad, then at tier 6 participation you can do whatever. Exactly. The one camp per 10 minutes is enough if you have tier 6 participation already unlocked, and then you just keep it with this. That is true, that is true. But it doesn't really matter. You can also just kill one random enemy player every 10 minutes. You don't have to like fight a camp. It just needs to be something that is actually participating. You cannot kill a random wolf or something. That doesn't work. Exactly. I think that's a very important tip for new players to understand, because obviously you always are scared of going into World vs. World, but in World vs. World it doesn't really matter if you win or lose. It really does not. You just stand there, have some fun, maybe fight some enemies. If you lose, okay, who cares? And if you win, even better, but you will get rewarded anyway. That's the cool part. World vs. World is really, I would say, casual player friendly. It's definitely an opposite to PvP, because in PvP, of course, you also get rewarded for losing, but it's definitely way more punishing. You get less rewards for losing. In World vs. World, you get almost barely less rewards. Yeah, it's definitely a big difference there. Also, don't forget to get the most cancerous builds. Yeah, I mean, I think Willbender is not as good anymore. I played it a lot during roaming, and I think it's a fun roaming build, but it's definitely not S tier anymore as a roamer. I would, maybe not true. I think the Bruiser Willbender build that I made a video about, this is still a very good build, but the full burst Willbender build is definitely not as good anymore. It's just a farming build for if you want to farm noobs or new players. It is not, as soon as you fight an experienced player, you will lose probably. Willbender is not really a good spec anymore for roaming specifically. At least if you're not running the Bruiser one. But yeah, I think that's just meta changes. World versus world roaming specifically is heavily dependent on what build you're playing. Some builds are really, really bad at roaming, some builds are really good at roaming, and it changes every time we get a balance patch. Or not necessarily every time, but it can change quite drastically depending on the balance. What PvP reward track do you recommend? So I would say if you are just in for the gold, my best guess is in World vs. World and PvP is doing the non-repeatable reward tracks first, because they are obviously really good. In PvP there is a reward track. Where is it? I think it's like, yeah, exactly, Jungle Rabbit and stuff. There you get even a Blackline chest key, which is obviously really high value. So this is really good. I would go for those one first. But as soon as you have all of them unlocked, like all the non-repeatable ones done, then I would say the best course of action is going for like one of the Living World Season 4 currency ones. So for example, or the End of Dragons one, and then one, or the Season 4 currency one. Or currently there is some kind of bug or thing with the Silver Waste one. You can repeat that one and get 7 Mystic Clovers, but I would not bet on that to stay like that. But I would typically go for End of Dragons or Living World Season 4. Those two are probably the highest value ones. Yeah, that is true. If you fight against thieves or Willbenders, then they are really aggressive, and oftentimes you might actually be really like overwhelmed as a new player if you fight against players like this. I think that's like one of the strengths of being like a hyper aggressive build, is that new players cannot deal with it. It doesn't really need to be a really good build that you're playing. If you're playing a Power Mirage, a Power Deadeye, a Power Willbender, whatever, just burst the enemy down before they can like understand what happened, then you will probably win against new players because they don't know how to deal with that. And that doesn't make it necessarily a good build, because as soon as you fight someone strong, that is not necessarily the case anymore. But I would say it's, for a new player, can be quite frustrating. So I would say it's roaming is definitely not as new player friendly as circing. You know, in a circ, I can just like follow this tag here, don't know what is actually happening, and I will get loot and have some fun, and that's all we need. In roaming, it can be very frustrating as a new player. If you're just running around, capturing some camps, trying to win 101s or stuff, you will probably lose like 90% of the time. And that doesn't feel great in my opinion. So that's why I always recommend for new player, go into the circ, play like this open world siege war. That's what you should do, and you will probably have a lot of fun doing that. And hopefully learn some more about the game, and at some point you can also try roaming if you're feeling like you are more experienced then. There we go, another rank. And a ring. Crazy, a Ascended ring. So much loot from World vs. World, it's crazy. The best a new player can do while running roaming is using a Celestial build to mitigate these power builds. Yeah, but even if you run like a tanky build, that doesn't mean you might win, because if you don't know how to deal damage with the tanky build, you might still die, just not as fast. But good point, of course, running a Celestial build is probably a safer pick than running like a full Berserker build. That is definitely true. Nice, more loot, more loot. So much loot already, it's crazy. That's what I meant, you know, you get actually decent amount of gold per hour just by farming World vs. World. It's obviously not as high as in PvE, but it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not liquid gold though, it's more materials and stuff. Does a list exist of actually useful recipes that are must-buys from vendors for crafting? I don't know about a list or something, but it's like more like there are so many recipes in the game and most of them are not required. There are some of them that can be useful, but it's really like you will like encounter them at some point. I would say it's not something that I would say you should make a checklist and get every single item right now. You will more like oh, I need to craft this item. Oh, it needs a recipe that I don't have. I will get it now. It's more like that. It's not like you say, okay, I have like this list of 100 recipes that you should get, and then you are golden. Maybe someone has that, but I personally think that's not how most players engage with this recipe system. But maybe someone has it here in chat. I just don't. Very good. There's a lot of damage pressure here. Yeah, I think it's definitely for a new player. I think that Guild Wars 2 has a lot of things to learn. I think that goes for all MMOs, to be honest. There's so much stuff that you will notice, encounter. You just have to always think about it like that. As soon as you encounter something that you want, as soon as you see something that you did not know exists or that you want to understand more about, then you go to the wiki or to YouTube and check out if there's some guide about it. And that's about it. I would say you cannot make a checklist and something, say, okay, I want to get this, this, and that, and then I have the game like completely understood. That's not really how it works. I think it's more like one step after the other. And one big tip that I can give you there is, of course, always if you have a question, you can ask, of course, in our Discord server, you can ask on my YouTube comment and the stream. But if you want to have an in-game guide, you can always, or somewhat in-game, you can type /wiki. And then you enter, and then you will open the wiki. And if you have a specific question, like, I don't know, let's say spirit shards, you just type /wiki, spirit shard, and then then enter. And then the browser opens with this specific search parameter. That's really cool. That's a really nice integration of the wiki, and the Guild Wars 2 wiki is one of the best resources to get used to and use it because it's amazing. It's so good. It gives you all the info you need, probably, especially the English one is amazing. And yeah, it's amazing. It's really good. Can always recommend it for new players. Scotch, is it okay if I go full Harrier with give us trinkets and accessories? Yes, it's a good mix. Yeah, for sure. But for healers in general, you can go give us Harriers, Minstrel mix. It doesn't really matter for the most part. Just be aware that sometimes you might be the tank if you have some toughness. But that's okay, I guess. I started with roaming, kind of. I find Zergs are too fast for me to understand what's going on. I mean, if it's better for you to play roaming, then sure, go for it. I'm just saying for the general new player, I think it's better to follow some kind of tech like this pink commander than playing around alone and trying to win one-on-ones against players that played the game for 10 times the amount that you did it. But of course, if you like that more, go for that. I think everyone should play the game as they like it. And Guild Wars 2 has a lot of flexibility when it comes to what you can do, even in World vs. World only. And just play what you like. That's always the big dogma that I preach here, I would say. What class do you recommend for fast map completion without boosting to 80? It's always Thief. The fastest one are Thieves, because Thieves move around the fastest, you have really good teleports and stuff. But of course, Mounts nowadays make it even faster for most classes, so it is not necessarily the best or the only choice to go for Thief. So go for the class that you enjoy. Mounts, you will unlock Mounts level 10, the first one, and that helps a lot to move around faster, and it's not really required to have the fastest class, but Thief would probably be my choice. Yeah, then of course, Alcrassi, go for this Harrier Givers mix. It's a really good one. Yeah, makes sense on Scotch and Chronomancer. Do we encourage with Guild at all? Do we engage with Guild at all? So personally, on my main account, I engaged to some extent with guilds in the past, but as soon as I started my content creation here, I am way more focused on making content for you and talking to you, having this amazing community here, and less engaging with like guilds. I think Guild Wars 2 has very good systems with guilds, but it's not really required. You can do like almost anything in the game without being in a guild or having like any community that you have to engage. But if you're a new player, I think the game is way more fun if you have someone to talk to about it and stuff like that. So I personally would say, for most players, it's recommended to get into guilds. I personally just don't do it because I don't have the time to engage with a lot of other players all the time. But I think I would recommend to do it, yeah. Yeah, thanks Snowdrop for posting that. That helps. Very good, we are getting somewhere. Like maybe we can get the Gift of Battle today. That would be amazing. Probably can get it if we get some nice more caps here. we have a birthday boost here? I think I had, yeah, there we go. Increases my reward track gain even more. Should always have the boost if you have them, just use them, very good. What about a guild for our community? I already have one. I'm in here. It's the Surma gaming community. If you understand the reference here, SGC. Yeah, you can join if you just write me on my Discord or on my main account. Then you can just join. Everyone is welcome as soon as long as you are friendly. And we take everyone. It's really good. And we have a community there. It's not like insanely active or something, but you can ask questions, you can find players to play with. Same goes, of course, for our Discord. Nice, 4th birthday. Nice. Congrats already. Yeah, I mean, I think Guild Wars 2, I have like 70 characters, if you don't know. On my main account, I log like almost every single day I log to a new character. And there is a birthday gift lying around. It's not always the same, of course, but like most of them are like multiple years old. Like all of them actually. The ones that are the oldest are obviously like over 10, but some of them are like 5 or something. So it's a good way of getting some extra rewards. It's actually surprisingly how much you get, especially the later birthdays give a lot of loot. Apparently we try to break into that. I'm not sure if we can get this though. It seems quite heavily defended. Exactly, it's guild in Guild Wars 2. The name is very misleading. It's very misleading, to be honest. The name of a guild is more like you have a chat room where you can ask people and find people to play with. Other than that, it doesn't really give you a lot of benefits. There is this one benefit that I would say is quite nice for most players, is those like boosts. You can get a 10% boost to World vs. World experience. You can get a 10% boost to World vs. World, like for example, reward track gain. You can get a 10% boost to experience gain in PvE. Stuff like that can help. It's infinite, it lasts forever, but it's not required at all. Yeah, the guild commendation is one of the older systems that came with the core game already. And then with the guild commendations, you can get some unique skins, or you can buy some ascended pieces like accessories and stuff. That can definitely be a good way. And I think guilds are definitely a good way to get this. We also at some point also want to do more guild missions. But the interest in our guild and guild missions, as far as I understood it, is not that high. And I can't manage them on my own, you know. So if someone in the community steps up and wants to like do the guild management and organize some guild mission runs, that would be cool. But I cannot manage everything as well. Oh, they dodged the pull. That's sad. Yeah, 70 characters is obviously not necessary. It's just like I'm a backslot enjoyer. I use most of my characters for storage only, so that's just how it goes. If you're a veteran, maybe you have some other crazy goals like that. But at some point you have to set you some crazy goals to be interested in the game for a long time. You have to change the World vs. World experience after World vs. World to PvE and so on. Yes. So if you, that's one of the big reasons why I have multiple characters. Like for example, like 3 Mesmas that I play all the time, because one of them is PvP, has the PvP boost. One of them is World vs. World, has the World vs. World boost. One of them is PvE, has the World vs. The PvE templates and the PvE experience boost. So yes, you have to change them all the time if you only have one character, but if you have multiple that you use, you can just keep them forever. And that's what I do on my main account, but on this account here I switch all the time. Yes, that is true. It can be annoying, but I think it's not too bad. It takes a minute or so. So if you don't forget, I think it's not too bad. Yes, I think after Visions of Eternity, I really want to get more raid training, especially the new ones, of course, but also the old ones. Because there will be a merge of strike and raid training and stuff, raid content happening. And I also want to get more new players into Fractals and stuff, so I will definitely engage more with instant content training and stuff, because I think that's a really, really like, it's not necessarily missing in the community, but it's definitely something that helps new players to have even more fun in the game. That was very close. There is a lot of pressure here. Very good. My Tempest here healed me a lot. Thanks for that. Yeah, I think especially the Fractal CMs are somewhat challenging as a new, or even as a veteran player to get into, because it's really like either you have very experienced players with you, or you have like very new players, and it's very hard to get from one spot into the more experienced one. So I really hope we will manage to at least get some players into this some really cool content, because I think Fractal CMs is one of the most exciting things to get done every single day. It's really fun. It's really good gold. I like to do that a lot on my main account at least, and I hope I can like have some more incentive for new players to join it as well on my channel, on my streams as well. Maybe we do it off stream, on stream, we will see. Just have some nice content and hopefully get more new players. Oh, there is a. Oh my god, I just missed it. I was clicking already, but it was not there anymore. There was an emergency waypoint. Okay, now I have to walk. That's good, I guess. It's what you get for being too slow. On my main account, on this account, I have not started CMs yet because I'm not the fractal level yet. I'm still at like fractal level 40 or something. So definitely need a little bit more fractal level and more agony to push there. But I will get to that. What do you think they will do? Renaming strikes to raids? I actually think they will rename strikes to raids. I think it's just such a name that people know what it is. Like in Guild Wars 2, strike missions, like fractals, it's really weird that they just call them dungeons, call them raids, and people will know what they are. I think if you make weird names and people don't know what they are, you can explain it to them, but I think it's better to have something that people already have some kind of like understanding what it means. But maybe ArenaNet does a new name. Who knows? We have not any confirmation yet, so it could also be that it's like, oh, there are players coming. Okay. Some stability up. I'm not sure if we can get out of here. There are actually quite a lot of them. But who knows? Maybe ArenaNet has some crazy ideas of how to call it. Oh my god. Yeah, we will not get out of here. So we will see. That's why I'm hoping for like a big blog post or something that tells us what's going on, what they think, what their ideas are. If the guilds explains them to me and other players that have never done it, I'm willing to explain and lead those afterwards. That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah, we need more players that actually are willing to teach stuff about the game, because obviously a new player might have the incentive to learn something, but if there's no teacher around to teach them, that's not good. Definitely good if you have more people like you then. Do you think they will still keep profit shots and magnetite shots separately? That's also a very interesting question, because there are advantages and disadvantages to both of those things. If they would merge them, it would be easier to get into raids or get into strike missions and get ascended gear, for example, and the caps might be higher and stuff. But it might also be that they want to keep it separate because you want to have incentives to go back to all content to get, for example, the legendary ring, legendary armor and stuff, which you can now get, for example, if they would merge it into one thing, you could be able to get this from just playing strike missions. So I'm not sure how they will do it. I think that's either way very interesting, and I think they just have to let us know and when they decide it. Maybe they don't know yet. We will see. We will see. I hope there will be a blog post about this very soon. How is the Power Reaper in raid strike missions? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not the best DPS, but it's a very safe DPS, and for a new player, probably one of the best specs to play. Somewhat easy to play as Power Reaper. Good DPS, good sustain, good tankiness. I can recommend it. It's not like an insane benchmark, but it doesn't matter. In real fights, it will probably be better than most players in the group anyway. Yeah, can recommend it. What runes and relics should I go on Illegal Celestial Revenant? It depends a bit what you want to do. If you want to be tanky, then I would say you would go for Undead runes. If you want to have damage, then you would probably go for Trapper runes or Tormenting runes. Those two would probably be my top choices there. And the relic is highly like debatable. There are like hundreds of options for Revenant. Revenant is very flexible in relics. I would say the most aggressive relic is probably Relic of the Fractal, if you run a short bow or something. I don't know. I would say a defensive relic makes more sense, but it heavily depends what you want to do, what you want to achieve with the build. I think relic is really, really personal choice. Since you're on a new account, do you have your goals posted somewhere? I want to follow as well as I'm new. So I will release a video next week with my goals and some kind of checklist where I talk about all the stuff that I achieved and show them and stuff. So I think that then I will also release or showcase at least what kind of goals I have and which ones I still have to do. Let me hydrate for a second. Always a good spot to hydrate in the middle of a fight. But what can you do when your voice breaks? Yeah. And it being ANET, they would probably just move the strike entrance to Erdo. Yeah, that would be crazy. I really hope for more stuff like than that, because just having like some kind of merge that is like just merging because you have the same area, like hub where you start, that's not good enough. I think they have to make the strike bosses the same like raid, or raid bosses the same like strike bosses, so that you can go into Gorseville, you can go into Sabetta without having done Veil Guardian, for example. I think that would be really cool. Stuff like that. But who knows? Who knows what they have in stock for us. Yeah, if you have Trapper, then I would say probably if you want to go for the maximum amount of damage, it's probably Fractal Relic. Yeah, the most amount of damage typically for Connie builds is Fractal. I think we are just losing here, straight up. Maybe we get the kill here. It's just too much pressure. Oh, we are in. Maybe that helps. I guess it helps a bit, but we lost like 10 players or something just to get through this door. I'm not sure if that's the smartest. Yes, I'm getting Gift of Battle and I'm really close, like 7 more. It's like, I don't know, 20 more minutes or something, if I'm lucky. So not bad. We are getting with the Gift of Battle, getting quite good progress here. And then we have like almost all the account bound stuff except the gold. Like, it's crazy. Almost all of it done today. Or not today, but already done. That's good, because we have the Gift of Exploration already, like last week. So very good. We are getting somewhere with this account. I feel like separating bosses would defeat the purposes of content being a raid. Yeah, but what else would they do with a raid then to make it similar to a strike mission? Because otherwise they will just leave it like it is and just say it's merged now with the same currency. I don't know. I think it's really hard for me. I think this is a decision that they are now doing. They should have done in the beginning already. I'm not sure what they will do and how they will do it. I really hope the blog post that they will have planned for raids in the future. They already promised us there will be a blog post coming somewhat soon. So I just hope this will explain that as well. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe we will get the info like in 3 months. Is it viable to farm Tales of Dungeon Delving solo? Oh yes, it is. Oh yes. There are so many good builds that you can play for soloing dungeons. It's really, really good. Just play any build that has some kind of like wound DPS roll or full DPS from raids and you will be able to do that. Might be a bit greedy. Yeah, I'm pushing here. What's your plan for the gold part of things? So just playing a lot of fractals, maybe doing some meta events and stuff, but you will see. I have some ideas planned for that, but I don't need that much gold anymore. I will see that later. Maybe I showed efficiency here on stream today. Maybe I will show it next week when I release the video where I have my checklist and stuff. I want to showcase how much I'm actually already, like how much progress I made to the legendary already. That's a nice push. We get a lot of loot from this. Yeah, so we are actually like over halfway there already, like over halfway there for the legendary. So you don't need a lot of liquid gold. That's not the important part. I have like 60 mystic clovers already or something, and I need 77. So we are making progress. But like I said, will come either later this stream or next week in a 1 month in video. So what happens after you get the legendary? Now Zero to Hero will just go for a break. When I get the legendary, I will go and play the new expansion on my main account. But if there is nothing new to do in the expansion anymore, then I will go back to Zero to Hero on this account and play a second season and get more legendaries, get some cool achievements or whatever. So it will continue. It will just not continue straight away. There will be a short break where I play more stuff on the new expansion. How do you plan on getting enough gold? So the idea is a lot of Wizards World stuff, but I want to play a lot of Fractals to get some gold. Fractals are really good liquid gold farm. And other than that, we will see probably those two are probably good enough to get a lot of gold. It really is. Just logging in daily, doing all the dailies, weeklies. It's good enough. You get a lot of gold passively. You will see. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Raiding community is quite small. It's smaller than PvP. It is. That's one of the weird comments, and people don't know that, but it's definitely the case. That was really nasty. Like, they didn't expect us at all. Like, we got 10 kills or something because they didn't see us coming. Very nice. Yeah, it's really good progress. I'm really surprised how fast I make progress here on this account. It's crazy. Yes, there will be a strike and raid mission merge. However it will look, we don't know it yet, but it will come with the new expansion. So we will see what they have planned for that. I really don't know. Can you recommend a Mesmer build that is based on Greatsword? So you can play Power Virtuoso that is surprisingly strong with Greatsword. Like Greatsword and Dagger Sword is a good choice for Power Virtuoso, but there are a lot of weapons that you could use with the Greatsword. And Power Virtuoso is just a solid pick all around, in PvE that is. But even in competitive modes it's a solid pick actually. Probably also less chat bans, yeah. That is very likely the case. Yeah, PvPers are known for getting banned because of some gamer words. Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to know how many people in PvP got banned just for verbal abuse. It's actually crazy to me, because that's like one of the easiest to avoid bans ever. It's like insane. But apparently PvPers cannot avoid this. It has to be done, I guess. Raiding is always a small portion of player base. In Destiny 2 it's like 1%, even though the raids are a selling point for the game. Yeah, I think that's just like a lot of the games always focus on a broad spectrum of what the players that are looking for a specific game are really like trying to find. And only a small portion of them are going as try hard as you want to go for raids. And I think that's fair. That's fair. Not everyone has to play every piece of the content. I myself don't do it on my main account every time. But I think it's completely like cool and fair if they push more new content that is also challenging. I think that's really nice that they continue to put out like those legendary challenge modes that they promised us with the next expansion as well. I think that's one of the best things that they do with the new expansions for try-hard players is those legendary challenge modes. That's painful. That's painful. But yeah, I hope they will continue to do so, even though the player base is quite low. And hopefully the player base will increase with the new expansion because it merges strike missions, makes them hopefully easier to understand. Maybe even some quick play. Who knows? Maybe there will be quick play coming for raids. That for at least for easy mode raids. Why not? Why not? Keeping the same mechanics for each boss would be an amazing way for people to learn before trying into full raid runs. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Thoughts on Thief for PvE? I think Thief for PvE, sorry, is surprisingly good. Like Daredevil and Deadeye, very good power DPS builds, and Spectre, really good all-around build. You can play a full DPS build, boon DPS, full healing build, whatever you want. Spectre is a very, very good pick. I personally really say Spectre is like one of the best classes to play if you are like a thief, or elite specs to play if you like the thief playstyle, because it's a really cool roleplay fantasy. It's a really good class in general to play because it's really flexible. I like it, but of course not for everyone. Quick play Greer CM, yes, people would like that. Yeah, I don't know. I would say quick play has obviously a big drawback. So some bosses will not work with quick play. I definitely see that. Does it mean it's a bad thing to do? No. I think if they do it exactly with the fractal quick play, exactly the same, that you have to like make it easier to understand for the players and easier to get into. Why not? Why not? Yeah, Snowcross is one of the best websites to go for instant content builds. Or you can, of course, check out my channel. !builds in the Twitch chat, and you see my YouTube channel, my spreadsheet there, where I have all the builds, and you will find all the videos about it. But if you want to see a written version, I can recommend Snowcross. Amazing websites for all the PvE builds. Nowadays, even for other game modes as well, but mostly focus on PvE and raids. Nice, we have more players. Nice, nice, nice. That's a big fight. Big fight, big fight. I think we killed them. We just straight up run into them and kill them. I guess that's good enough. Very nice. Today is a good day for farming enemies. I can tell you that. Nice. Got some sneaky pull. Yes, under raids. Exactly. And then you can check the different builds that you want to run. Nice, we got the Mist War hero, so we get another 4 gold out of that. Okay, very good. Nice. Surprising how much kills we can get, even on this new account here with the lucky group that we found here. Another 4 gold. Look at this, over 200 gold. Very good. Got an achievement for that. Can open some chests as well. Get some more, nice, get some more World vs. World experience, exactly what we needed. And some more loot to sell. It's crazy, yeah. Look at this, level 15 already. And 35 or 40, not bad. Welcome Nordheim, welcome Nordenheim, welcome. I'm doing good. Yeah, so always happy to make this like show this journey here on stream on my new account. Glad you could join as well. Glad you could join. Oh my god, there are even more enemies. What is this? Loot fest for this new account here. This would be like very good. Look at this. How many I'm getting more kills than on my main account. Like I will outscale my main account very soon here. It's crazy. So much stuff happening. Join, my friends. Join. World vs. World right now is fully active on EU. Crazy. Very good. No problem, always happy to hear. Yes, exactly. I'm still on the Zero to Hero grind. It's still ongoing. The goal is, of course, I started 1 month ago on this account. The goal is to get a legendary weapon from scratch before the expansion drops. And of course, the fractal event is really good. I started leveling the character here normally 1 month ago. And now I'm already at, of course, as you can see, level 80 and have already like 40% of the legendary done or something. So I think I will be able to get it done. One of the things that I need is, of course, that's why I play World vs. World, is the Gift of Battle. Already there almost. So good progress, not only today, but also the last few weeks, days. Really good. Yeah, it's a cool goal. It's really fun. And I try to answer a lot of new players' questions here. Of course, also veterans, if I can. And it's a nice activity, for sure. Definitely something different than always playing on like a crazy main account where you have like thousands of hours and always to do the same stuff and have everything unlocked. It's a completely new journey and you see the game in a completely different perspective. So I noticed the flaws for the new player experience. I noticed flaws that I did not experience on my main account because I have like items and stuff that just makes the game very convenient. But on a new account, you notice there are some things that are really annoying to deal with. Yeah, you can see it here all the time. I'm pressing like F like crazy. I for the auto loot because I don't have it yet, stuff like that. Oh yeah, that's not the most exciting thing to not have. I'm so close to finally unlocking Skies yet, just need to grind Masters and Soto sons. Yeah, I mean, you are doing the Soto one, and that's a good choice. That's a good choice. It's definitely better to get than the one from, how is it called, from Path of Fire from the Living World Season 4, because this one is, let me tell you that it's definitely more annoying to get. There are so many collections to get done, and the Soto one is, in my opinion, quite nice to get, not too bad idea. And I think it's quite fun. I think the Soto Skyscale implementation is, in my opinion, one of the best mounts they did, because you get it almost for free to play it in the Soto zones only. You can just borrow it, and I think that's really cool. You get some kind of like, I don't know, teaser for the Skyscale, and then you can farm it in those maps, get some time-gated stuff done, but then you can farm it, and that's really cool. And then get the masteries there. I think that's just really well done. And then at some point, if you want to get all the good masteries on top of that you have to go back to the Path of Fire ones. Yeah, I guess that's how it goes. But I will have to do that here on this account at some point as well. I'm not looking forward to that, to be honest. Skyscale grind was not the most fun activity for me. Yes, exactly. It means by the time you have to unlock it, you really know the mount and how it works. Exactly. I think that's a really smart move. I think that's one of the smarter implementations about learning something and giving something for free. Because I think there is always a thing of learning something on the fly is always better than having to unlock it after playing 10 hours without having it at all. I think it's always better to slowly learn something. That's why I also leveled here from scratch, and I always recommend it for new players. Well, I think that's the same thing. I would not use level 80 boosts on your first character for the same reason. I think you should slowly learn it, and I think the same goes for Sky Skill. I think that you can play it without the masteries. It makes you understand how the mount works and when it's good and when not, and you can slowly improve it by getting the masteries. I think that's a really cool thing. Yeah. Started about a month ago, and the first thing I did was unlock the Sky Scale, the best choice for new player. Yeah, it's really good. If you do a lot of open world content, the Sky Scale is such a good mount. It's probably the best mount in the game overall. Such a good, very flexible mount. Yeah, definitely recommend unlocking it at some point. Of course, on this account, I'm not focused too much on it because I really focus on the legendary. It's a little bit like for my, so to say, my own challenge here is like making it a little bit different than normal players would engage with the game. But hopefully you can still learn something from me, yeah, how to make a lot of progress towards the legendary. And because most players probably at some point also want to go for legendary. It's just a very nice, very common thing to go for. Yeah, it's really good. Guild Wars 2 is very casual friendly. The game itself is already very casual friendly, and like a lot of the game modes make it even more casual friendly how to engage with it. World versus world, even PvP can be played very casually, and you don't have to engage with hard content if you don't like to, but you can, and that's really good. Really good. I really wish they never added the Sky Scale. It ruined the open world. Yeah, it depends who you ask. I think the Sky Scale was a decision that is definitely something you could debate about, but it's already in the game. Now they can't take it away anymore. I will not argue if it's a good one or a bad one, because what do I know? I'm just a player. But I think it's now in the game, so we have to live with it, and I think it's just a very good mount. That much is for sure. Yeah, I think a lot of mounts have really cool, interesting unlocks. I think, personally, I like the Griffin. Back in POF, the Griffin was a secret. People did not know the Griffin was in the game. We did not know. It was a secret mount. And it was just like some people in the end noticed that you could actually unlock another mount. There was a slight teaser before that. It was some kind of like people knew about it before, but most of the community actually did not know. And that's really cool, something like that. They didn't do it later, again, something like that. But it was back then. It was a really big hype moment, I guess, for me. A PvP speedrun. Probably not Snowdrop. Not as an ArenaNet partner. That would not be a smart choice. It would not be a smart choice. But it doesn't shy away from doing challenges for new players, which I appreciate. Yeah, I think Guild Wars 2 has for everybody some cool things. Oh, nice. We have players here. Yeah, so I think Guild Wars 2 is obviously mostly designed for casual players nowadays, but there are some things in there that actually can help you get more engaged into the hardcore or more try-hard side of things, which is good. I think you want to have a healthy mix. You always want to have hardcore players with somewhat casual players in your game. As soon as you only have one of those in your game, I think the game is about to die. That might be a hot take, but if you lose all your tryhards, the game is not very healthy. The same goes if you have no casual players in your game. I think that can work to some extent. To some extent can that work, but only if you are like only dedicating your content and your resources as developers to the specific audience. If you only put out raids in a specific game, then you will only have players playing the game for this specific content. That can work, but it's better to be more broad. And Guild Wars 2, in my opinion, does a rather good job of keeping the game casual, having some try-hard content in there as well. I think it would be a little bit better to have more try-hard or at least more long-term longevity content in the game. I think they've noticed that now with more legendaries, more legendary challenge mods and stuff. But in like, let's say 10 years ago or something, that was definitely not the case. But now it's definitely more the case. So I think Guild Wars 2 has a good direction. Definitely. Which class in your opinion is the most versatile? For PvE, it's 100% Mesmer. If you play different game modes, then I would say Mesmer and Guardian. Mesmer is in PvE unbeatable in terms of versatility. You can play like every single class on Mesmer as a power build, elite spec. You can play every single elite spec as a Condi build. You can play every single elite spec as a boon DPS, and every single elite spec, or no, not true, except Virtuoso, and most of them as a healer as well. So it's really versatile while also having amazing utility skills. So Mesmer is definitely the best versatility class, I would say. But of course, you also have to like it. You should always choose a class that you like as well. I would never go for a class just because some random content creator on a Twitch stream said, this is the best versatile class, you should pick it. Because if you hate it and you don't like to play it at all, then you should go for something else. There will be more that are interesting and exciting to play for you. For sure. Do we get the kills here, or do we just scare them off? I think we... there we go. We get some kills. Very good. Good example for this might be Throne of Liberty. Oh my god, I cannot read chat and fight. Only PvP and World vs. World content, some dungeons for gear and dailies for resources, but focus on PvP. Yeah, it can work, I think, but the problem is you have to, you teach your player base what you give them. So if you as a developer only give PvP content, then you only have a PvP player base. You will never have a PvE player base. And the same goes for Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 made the decision to put not a lot of effort into World vs. World and PvP. It exists, people like to play it, but it's not the biggest selling point of the game. It's more the open world, because that's what they cater to the most. And if they want to put out more content for fractals, for raids and stuff, they have to be careful to not negate the open world player base. And I think that's for every game the same. So you have to focus on the player base that you actually want to cultivate. And I think Guild Wars 2 does a decently good job of keeping all the game modes alive. And I think they should try to do so in the future, because that's one of the main aspects why I like to play this game, why I like to make content about it, because I like to play different parts of the game. If I would only play open world PvE, I think I would at some point not have fun anymore. But if I have 4 different game modes that I can play, while also having 9 different classes with in total like 36 new elite specs with the expansion, oh yes, I will not quit the game anytime soon. So yeah, that's something that you have to keep in mind as well. Power Mirage is possible, it's not the best spec though. It's quite gimmicky. It's better to play like Power Virtuoso or Power Chronomancer or even Power Troubadour when it comes out. I think going for Power Mirage is good, but only in competitive modes it's a really good choice. New World is a game I'd probably have played if they had more PvE focus than just PvP. Yeah, I think in the beginning of the game it was only PvP, and they slowly increased the PvE side of New World, and that was I would say that was a decision. You can like debate if that's a good one or a bad one, but it definitely drew the attention from PvE players, but it had the PvP focus already. So it's really weird, a game that is focused on PvP in the beginning, but then makes a like completely 180 turn in PvE direction. It's really hard to not alienate your PvP player base. And the same goes, of course, if you do it the other way around. So I think New World made some mistakes. I think most people would agree there. And I hope Guild Wars 2 will not do any mistakes like that in the future. But they did in the past have a big PvP focus, and they switched around to open world PvP at some point. It turned out somewhat well for them. But I'm still quite sad that PvP is not as active as it should be, because PvP is a great game mode in Guild Wars 2. I know not everyone plays it, but I think it's a really fun game mode. It still exists, but it could have been way bigger. It's sad Push was so promising, but had such a lame launch. Yeah, I think it's actually for me quite crazy that they didn't do any Push event. Yeah, when Push launched into like the normal, how is it called, rotation? Oh, did I get it? No. Okay. They did not give any Push event. It was just like secretly released. Oh, by the way, we have it now in like the normal unranked. That's crazy to me. Oh, that was so close. But yeah, I think that's PvP and World vs. World are more like game modes that are, I don't know, a little bit like the player base is there, but it's not really actively crazy development anymore. It's more like they keep it alive, but that's about it. I'm a new player. I played this game for like 30 hours and I'm still struggling to choose a class. I can only have 2 at the same time. and can't choose what I want to level. All classes are so interesting, even core. So Saren, you can type !! classes, I think, in the chat. I have a video that is exactly for you, because it showcases all the classes, gives you like a 1-minute description of all the classes, and then you can decide what you like. Because I think it's very important to choose a class that you like. Ah, you already saw that. So if you saw that specific video, that's really like really dedicated to new players that can't decide. Because I think the most important part for new player is choosing a class that you enjoy the look of, enjoy the gameplay look of, because every single class has a good build. Never choose only because of the meta. Choose a class that you actually enjoy. And I think Guild Wars 2 does a really good job with the class balancing right now. If you played all the classes, I would say just like focus on one. Like I would say if you have no preference, Mesmer is a good choice in PvE. I think like probably Elementalist is a good choice if you like it. I think Revenant is a decent choice. Guardian is a decent choice. I would not necessarily go for Warrior, but go for whatever you like. Oh my god, there's another fight, but it's quite laggy now. It's crazy. But yeah, there are so many good classes. Choose one that you enjoy and stick with it. At some point, you have to level a class to level 80. If you do not do that, you will miss a lot of the game. It's just a lot of stuff that you missed in the game. So I would heavily recommend to level at least one class to 80 before you go to another character. I enjoy a lot of PvP in Guild Wars 2. I want to get better at it. So I would say in general, yeah, Necromancer is also very versatile. That's true. It's really hard. To be honest, I'm listed all the classes in this list. It's not really helping, to be honest. It's just like play the class that you like and just stick with it. It's really important. Stick with it. Yeah, PvP getting better is just like playing more, watching some other players that are decent or really good in PvP, or ask questions to them and you will get better at it. That's the most important part about it. Stick to a class, stick to a build, and try to improve at it. Maybe even watch your own gameplay. That helps a lot as well. If you like all of them, it's really hard. I can't give you an answer there, because you should then choose probably, maybe roll the dice, 9-sided dice if you have. I don't know, something like that. It's really hard to find a class then if you have no preference. Probably choose a game mode that you enjoy the most to play, what you think is the one that you enjoy the most, like open world PvP or open world PvE, whatever you like. Choose a game mode that you like, and then you choose the class that is currently the best if you have no other preference, I guess. I think Guild Wars 2 does a very good job with balancing classes and also like making all the classes interesting. So it will probably anyway be a hard choice. Necromancer is really good. Also wanted a class that can farm gold easily. I mean, gold does not depend on the class. You can farm gold on all classes the same. Necromancer is a good class for sure. Yeah, PvP is really good in Guild Wars 2. Sadly, it's not as active as people would like it. If you're a casual player and not into like crazy high rating, then it doesn't matter. You will still have good matches or fun matches most of the time. But if you're like going for like the top 10 spots in PvP, that can be painful. That can be very painful. Sure, exactly. If you like all the classes, then you should just get all the legendaries and stuff unlocked. That's what I did on my main account. I couldn't decide which classes to play, got 70 characters and got like, I don't know, hundreds of legendaries. That's what I ended up with in the end. That was crazy laggy there. No, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. Necromancer is not bad. I would say Mesmer is more flexible than Necromancer for the most part, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't play it. Another one. Very good. So we're almost there. One more pip and a tick and we have the Gift of Battle. Not bad. I'm actually surprised how fast we got it. Need to do some fractals now then. We really want to get some fractals done as well. How do I know which booster stack? Going to the wiki. Going to the wiki and just look which booster stack. There is no clear like tell which booster stacks with which. That just doesn't exist. You just have to stick with one and put it on if you are like experimental, but better check the wiki first to see if they stack. But most of the boosters actually stack in the game. There are only a few that are, so to say, not worth getting over most of the time. There we go, another level. Level 19 already. Not bad. Mesmer was the class I liked the most. Oh my god, it's a big fight here. I think we win this though. It looks like we are winning. Oh my god, the lags are insane. The skill lags, that is. Not the ping, the skill lags is really crazy. Sometimes that happens in World vs. World, but it's good. It's good. We still won. I don't care if we lag. If we win, that's good enough. Very good. Another one. So much loot. Very good. Crazy. It's fun. World vs. World can be really fun if you're winning, of course, but even if you're losing can be fun. Mesmer was the class that I liked the most, but low level it lacks damage, it feels like. Yes, leveling on Mesmer is quite challenging, quite annoying, yeah. Also, you said in your video that core Mesmer is one of the worst classes right now. I still don't have elite specs, waiting for the new sale to buy the expansion. So, I would say, I wouldn't say that core Mesmer in general is like necessarily a really bad class. It's just for new player, it might feel really bad because oftentimes in leveling and just new player, you will be solo. And a lot of utility skills of Mesmer, like almost like 80% of them are somewhat group focused. They are supporting, like this is AoE, this is AoE, this is AoE. And this means that you take it to help your party. If you are alone, core Mesmer does not have any damaging utility skills other than like 1 or 2. So it's really like, oftentimes it's just not a good choice for solo content or like stuff where you are not with friends and stuff. So Mesmer gets way better if you have access to elite specs, but you can still make it work before then. It's not like it's unplayable. But getting an expansion with an elite spec is definitely at some point a good choice. That can recommend getting that, not only for Mesmer, but for all classes. Elite specs are, as the name suggests, just a little bit better than core classes most of the time. Leveling on Mesmer with staff, you can do anything solo, even if it's a bit slower. Yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it might not be the easiest time to level your character. There are, or not the fastest way. There are better classes to play alone and leveling. Yeah, just saying, choose the one that you like. Leveling is always experimenting, trying out different things. You will at some point get more stuff from playing the game more. And unlock the elite specs and have even more fun then. That's the thing. You start out somewhere and don't worry too much. Very nice. We can get some high legs, I guess. We only have 1 more minute left, then we have the gift of battle. Not bad, not bad. Just noted your mouse cursor. So you can type !mouse, then you will get a setup guide how to get this. But in general, it's like I'm using a legal third-party add-on. It's called BlishHUD, and in there the mouse cursor. And this is it's very easy to set up, and then you can, for example, see how the mouse cursor looks. Exactly, that's the command. Very good. But I'm hoping on sale next month at the release of the new expansion, so about the Elder Dragon Saga new expansion. That makes sense. I'm not sure if there will be a sale, can't promise, but it makes sense. Yeah. Of course, if you want to support me, you can use my referral link then to purchase the expansion. For no additional cost, you can purchase the expansion. I will get some benefit then as well. But in general, like, I would say the Guild Wars 2 expansion, even if they're not on sale, are worth it. But of course, if you can't spare the money, I think waiting for sales is a smart choice. Typically, every like couple of months, there will be a sale. And probably with the expansion sale, around the expansion, there will be probably in November, typically there is some kind of sale. So if you can wait until then, or early November or something, probably gonna happen. There we go. We have Gift of Battle now. Nice. We get some loot. We get some. Oh, we don't have it yet. Oh no. That's actually quite unlucky, to be honest. Still 1 more. Still 5 more minutes. That's okay. We have a good fight here. Yeah, we're farming them. That's good. That's good. Maybe on Black Friday. That's a good point. It could be Black Friday sales. Yeah. I don't know. To be honest, I have to be honest that since I have all the expansions on my main account and I bought them here on this account like a month ago, I never was looking into like expansion sales anymore because I don't care, obviously, if I have all of them. But I guess I always post them on my YouTube channel when there are some happening. But the last one was like, I don't know, like 1 month ago or something, 2 months ago, something like that. Yeah, like a little bit more than a month ago, I think was the last sale for the normal expansions. So I guess next one is probably around November, Black Friday deals, something like that. Quite likely, yeah. I have to really clean my inventory, I have to be honest. Really clean the stuff here. That's expensive. Very good. So much gold did we get here. World versus World is a farming fest. Farming fest. Some of salvaging. More salvaging. More selling. And then it looks way better. Way better. To me as a noob, for solo only classes like Core Ranger, Necromancer seems good. But for group play, I agree Guardian or Elementalist or Mesmer looks way better. I think it's really hard to judge a class nowadays from its core performance, because elite specs, in my opinion, is obviously what everyone like play nowadays, which is completely fine, but of course you're correct. If you just would judge the core class's performance, it's probably around those classes that you say. Yeah. But if you get the expansions, we'll notice a significant like difference in how the classes play, as at least if you get the elite specs expansions. It's definitely like, you can see it here. I'm playing Chronomancer, and because of the Veils, because of the utility skills and the really good like continuum split and stuff, I played a class completely different than a core Mesmer. Of course I could play a core Mesmer, it would not be horrible, but it will be way worse than I'm playing it on Chronomancer, the same role. How close to 100% crit to be fair? Like, is 98% enough, or should I try to get to 99%? So if you're in a PvE on a DPS build, you want to get to exactly 100% with Fury and all your boosts. If you're in PvP and World vs. World, if you have 99 or 98% crit chance, that's good enough. But if you're in PvE, you really want to get this, because in PvE, 1% crit chance decrease means that you lose like at least like 3 to 5% damage, at least. So that's definitely very, very important. So always get the maximum amount of crit chance that you can get to, up to 100. You cannot go over 100. But definitely get that. But if you're talking about competitive modes, then 99% chance is already really good. You will not reach that typically in most scenarios. What about expansions that add a weapon, like Spear or Chantervals? Spear seems OP. Yes, Spear seems really good, but I would say, or Spear is really good. It doesn't really only seem like that, but it's really good. But the thing is that Spear unlocks its true potential, in my opinion, or all the new weapons, if you have an elite specs that can make use out of it. Of course, Core Mesmer, for example, can use the Spear and will be very good with it. But I would say it's an elite spec gives you way more options to fill specific roles, to be more versatile than a weapon gives. A weapon is just, look at Spear for example on Mesmer. Spear on Mesmer is a power-based melee weapon. You could easily go for like a greatsword and have almost the same role filled. Yes, you are ranged, but it's still a power weapon, has some AoE in it. And you don't really need to have the Spear for leveling or for playing the class. You can still fill most roles with this greatsword. Chronomancer has access to alacrity, quickness, and has some really good utility skills and healing stuff and whatever, yeah. And this you will not get access to by having a weapon. So elite specs are way more game-changing than a weapon ever can be, just straight up. And that's why I would say probably for new players it's better to go for anything that is like giving you elite specs. I really think that's typically the way to do it. Now we have the Gift of the Battle. Gift of Battle, finally. There we go. There we go. Gift of Battle acquired. Not bad, not bad. Are there some players here? Okay, interesting. Nice, we pulled them down. Let's get some Gravity Well here. Nice, we got them. Get some more kills, and then I guess we go into PvP, do some fractal quick plays. It's what I wanted to do anyway today a little bit, but we got the Gift of Battle first. Let me get off combat, please. Please. Come on. Apparently I can't. There we go. There we go. Let's do some quick play. after getting Gift of Battle, instantly leaving and going into quick play. I want to get the fractal incursions. I think like 3 or so would be good enough to get the perfect unlock. We need 29. Yeah, we probably don't even need that many. We will see. And then we have the legendary starter kit, and we can finally select more. Which class can provide perma quickness for PvE? Every single class has an elite spec that can provide that. Every single class can do that. On Elementalist, it's Catalyst. On Mesmer, it's Chronomancer. And on Necromancer, it's Harbinger. On Thief, it's Deadeye. On Ranger, it's Untamed. On Engineer, it's Scrapper. On Warrior, it's Berserker. On Guardian, it's Firebrand. And on Revenant, it's Herald. So every single class has one elite spec that can provide permanent alacrity or permanent quickness. Revenant is probably the easiest one to provide because you just have to upkeep it by pressing like 3 buttons and then you will have it forever on your party almost. It's really, really easy. But it's really more about like playing the class that you enjoy, because in the long run you will learn it anyway. But a good point. Revenant is probably, if you're looking for a quick DPS build, probably one of the easiest to learn. Yeah, Harbinger is like, I would say Harbinger is somewhat easy. Why is that? Why are they dying here? That's actually crazy. How it can be 3 players dead here? It's actually insane. Ah, they are dying to what? Ah, to the harpies. Okay. Okay, that's okay. But yeah, Harbinger can be easy. It's quite easy to upkeep quickness on Harbinger, or somewhat easy, but it's more punishing. It's way more, the rotation is way more strict. You are, I would say, somewhat squishy, and it's definitely not a class that I would recommend for a new player to learn. Quickness Herald is way better. Way, way, way easier. Of course, if you want to go for higher DPS, Quickness Herald is not that good, but for most players, that's not should not be the main goal. So here you play a support healer. I'm playing a hybrid healer. So I'm playing a Alacrity DPS spec that has some healing potential in there as well. Currently I'm playing, for quick play fractals, I would say it's not really good to play a full healer. That's not really helping anyone, because like quick play is more about who needs the Mist Ranger if you have Chaunt. But yeah, I think quick play is more about killing the enemies faster. It really doesn't matter too much. But I don't have a Berserker set on this account, so I will just play like the most aggressive stats that I have here, which is just playing Celestial here. That's the only one that I have right now. Yes. Yeah, I would say Heal Firebrand is one of the hardest quickness DPS builds to learn, or quickness builds in general, because it is, the positioning matters. If you position incorrectly, you might have perma quickness, but your party might not have any quickness. So it's really, really important that you understand how this class plays. And that's why I wouldn't recommend it to a new player. But just play a class that you like. And if you play a hard class, you have to put a little bit more effort in. But you will... Does the skip or not? Okay. Do I have the... Let's try it again. Yes. Yesterday I didn't do it, but maybe we can do it today. Nope. Come on. At some point I will get it. At some point I will get it done. Celestial Spectre and carry quick play solo. Yeah, there are so many good builds that you can play easily alone. That was too much. Can you change the stats of Ascended Armor? Yes, you can, but it costs a little bit of gold. So if you're willing to pay a bit for getting that, then you're good to go. But if you don't want to do that and don't want to do that all the time, then it's a little bit harder. Do you ever use stacking sigils? So you can use it in World vs. World, but in all other game modes it's more like it's not necessary. I think we did it anyway. Sad. At some point I will get the pot. But yeah, stacking sigils is more like for like maybe dungeon runs if you want to do some speed runs, or if you want to get very fast kills, for example, in like fractals, you could go for some kind of stacking sigils, but it's very, very niche. Most of the time I would recommend to only use them in World vs. World. And then it's good. Then it's good. All of them can be good. Is Celestial stat set good enough to support heal in all fractal levels? Yes. I would say in the higher fractal levels it's more skill-based, but if in the easy fractals like this one here, Celestial is definitely good enough. Like, absolutely. Well, for new players, I guess learning positioning, however, is easy to do. So after you have certain knowledge of the class, that is true. I mean, of course, I think it always depends on the player if you're willing to learn that stuff or if you're willing to go the extra mile and saying, okay, I'm not only willing to learn the class, but I also want to learn how to position correctly to make the class perform well. But at some point you will get there. Learning is all about the mindset. How did you get so many builds and armor saves? So 3 build templates are for free and the 2 equipment templates are for free. I don't have anything purchased here on this account. I save all my money for the legendary. So I don't know. I should not have more than you. Clean up a bit. Very good. Tomorrow we'll make the jump. Thanks that you believe in me. But that's one of the most annoying jumps to do on Mesmer, because Mesmer doesn't have a really good jump skill other than the Mirage Thrust, which is not the best one because it doesn't provide height. It just provides like horizontal jumps, and you typically, if you have like a Guardian Greatsword 3 skill or like a Revenant Malek's Leap, those are like, I do that almost first try, but because they have some height, you know, it's like a parabola. And this one here is way more like, it's like a flat line that you jump in front. But I will not give up. I will get it at some point. Yeah, you should not change the precursor armor stats. That is a good point. It's still annoying that they haven't fixed it, but it changes the item. Not only changes the stats, but it changes the item to not be a precursor anymore, and you lose the precursor, which is obviously really sad. Then you have to buy it again. What builds do you test on Celestial for T4? So I would say Celestial Firebrand, Celestial Scourge, or Celestial Spectre. Those are probably the best Celestial classes you can play. Maybe Celestial Tempest if you know what you're doing, but it's a little bit more challenging than the other 3. I would say those are probably the best ones to get. Yeah. No, I don't have all of them. You can have up to 10. That is correct. You can have up to 10 of this. But I don't have all of them. I'm just like the pleb with the ones that are free. Yes. Which is obviously completely fine. Most players don't need all of them. I would like to have more on this account even, but I cannot purchase them, or I don't want to purchase them right now. I need all my gold for the legendary. What do you think of the experience or karma enrichment for PvE? Are they worth the low risk? Yes. I think at some point low risks are something of like a currency that you don't need anymore. It really is like not worth anything, or not much at least. So I would recommend for new player to save up some low risk, maybe get their Ascended Gear. But I would not really say that spending low risk on enrichments is a bad thing. I personally really like to go for... I think experience enrichment is really good if you want to farm spirit shards. Oh my god, they do a lot of damage. And if you don't want to do that, if you want to farm, for example, Karma for legendaries, that can be worthwhile as well. I personally would say the experience enrichment for me is the better choice, because Spirit Shards is somewhat like more annoying to farm for me nowadays than than the Karma is. But if it's for you different, then I think Karma is also fine, but I would say both of them are definitely worth it. It's not like insane amount of flores that you get there, that you need to spend there. I think it's definitely worth it. Currently going for Fractal God, wanted to get it before Visions of Eternity, but it's a longer grind than I expected. I think it's nowadays way faster than it was before, because now you have so many challenge modes that you can do. But of course, if you don't do all of the challenge modes every day, then it can be a big grind for sure. But take it as a journey, have fun, and you will get some amazing rewards in the way as well. So I really enjoyed this ride. Even after getting it, I still play Fractals almost every day. It's just really, really good. It's just a really good game mode. Full Celestial with Oyster Food, Decade Enhancement, and Runes of Divinity for maximum stats. I mean, that can be a lot of stats, yeah. And there will be more elite specs coming with the Visions of Eternity expansion that have even more Celestial boosts. So like Conduit and like Troubadour, stuff like that. And you can get insane amount of stats on those as well. And that's quite fun, yeah. Can I do Fractals at level 20? So Fractals are level 80 content. It's like the endgame dungeons, so to say. But you can instantly enter them as soon as you reach level 80. And I would recommend doing that, of course, because before that you cannot play them. But as soon as you reach them, go in there, get some nice loot, get some, maybe even the first legendary there. It's really, really good. Can highly recommend it. What weapon armor should I get for support Paragon in the next expansion? Good. Very good here. That's nice. It just insta-killed me. That's cool. That's very cool. Because I was knocked up in the air and I died in the air in downstat and then was like insta-dead. Very good. That's what we like. And one more and I think I have it. Very good. So, Paragon is a warrior and the only support weapons warrior has is staff, and typically you use like, I would recommend axe with a warhorn or a sword with a warhorn. Those two are the only options that you have. Absolutely, there is no other options. Warhorn in the one hand and staff in the other hand. Which kind of weapon you take with the warhorn doesn't really matter, but it has to be a warhorn and it has to be a staff. Just straight up. It's really, really important. It's fine. I died in the last minute. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. And that's the last fractal until I got the thing, I think. Yeah, I will unlock this and get the legendary then. Or at least the legendary starter kit. So big progress today. Really nice to see. Really nice to see. Are we on a 0 or a hero today? Yeah, we will see that later, but I think I'm like, if you saw my death just now, probably more like a 0, but from the progress that I made, from the amount of loot that I got, probably a hero. It's really good how much progress I got today. There we go. Got this. Now we can kill the speeders. And then this is one of the longer ones. I think that's one of the more annoying ones. There's so many puzzles. I'm not the biggest fan of the Deepstone Fractal, but I don't know. I think all the quick play fractals, I'm actually really enjoying quick play. I have to be honest. I'm a veteran. I played fractals like for 10 years now, and I still enjoy quick play. It's crazy to me that they made a really fun interactive game mode now even better. I can't imagine, but it's true. It's really the case. It's really good. I cannot express how happy I am about that, and I hope we get more new players in the content like that, and hopefully we get more quick play in the future. I really hope we get more quick play to other content as well. I think dungeons are next in line, hopefully, because they are somewhat close to fractals. Maybe even strike missions at some point. But yeah, I will, after this fractal, I will get the legendary starter kit and will make a big jump in my gold that I have for this account, of course. So I would say just from the progress today, probably a hero, yeah. But World vs. World is also done. That's really cool. I got the Gift of Battle unlocked. Very nice. Now we can select something else, I guess. But yeah, really good, really good. And quick play is great, and funny enough, it doesn't require that much of a grind to get the 3 pairs of legendary gloves. Yeah, I think the next 2 are just a little bit of gold. It's not too much of a grind. I think you can get like, the first one needs like 450, and the second and third need 150 each. So it's like in total you need like something around like 150 fractals, something like that, if you have no achievements. Quick play fractals, so it's not too bad for 3 legendaries. I think that's quite fine. A little bit of gold, but that's about it. It's a bit unfortunate that it doesn't count for your personal fractal level. Yeah, I think that's on purpose. I'm pretty sure, because the fractal level is something that you need to progress through fractals. And I think one of the things that they don't want is players playing only quick play and getting to higher fractal level because of that, and then getting to a point where they are stuck because they are just not good enough with the gear, with the understanding of the fractal, because it was way too easy in the beginning, in the quick play. And now they are stuck in a more challenging fractal part, just because they had the fractal level go up. So I think it makes sense to lock it to some extent without going it up. But I can understand that criticism for sure. Need help with one question, please? Sure. What happened if you equip more than 2 infusions? Will you get all the cosmetics? Yes. If you, or do you mean the infusions for the gloves? For the gloves, you can only get 2. But for all other infusions, if you get more infusions, they will just stack all the effects. Doesn't mean you will see all of them, but infusions stack on top of each other. So if you have like 10 ghostly infusions, you have the ghostly effect a little bit more. If you mean the gloves, that the new infusions from the glove, then that means that you will only have like 2. You cannot get like 10 on top of each other. That will not have any effect. If you reach level 80 in Guild Wars 2, you can still continue leveling, but you will not get higher level. You get a mastery rank. Mastery ranks is something that increases your, I don't know, enjoyment of the game. Maybe more is some kind of like vertical progression that is not really a vertical progression. It doesn't increase the character stats or something. It just makes the exploration of the map and better, makes your mounts faster or stuff like that. So masteries are really cool, but it's not required to enjoy the game. Level 80 is definitely something that is required to play a lot of the parts of Guild Wars 2. But after that, it's more like about just having fun and getting the masteries that you like. Was wondering what's the idea with left and right infusions. So one of them would be your left weapon. So one of them would be, for example, my dagger, and the other one would be my focus. So I can make my focus glow red, while I can make my dagger glow blue. Stuff like that can work, and that is the infusion that you can select there. But it's not like you can also go for both of them blue, and left and right is not really like the left and right is the important part. It's more which kind of weapon you want to give which kind of effect. That's more about it. Yes, it's for the weapons. Yes. But they need to be different stat prefixes, right? No. You can have all of them power. They don't need to have different stats. That is not required. The other day, a teammate did a crazy skip on the appearing floor part of Deepstorm with the mini pinata transformation. It looked so funny. Yeah, there are so many fractal skips that you can do if you're an experienced player and have all the items that can do that. It's definitely cool that in fractals there is a lot of stuff that you can use to skip. I really like this idea of not having necessarily like linear content, but also can like skip some stuff if you know how to progress faster. I think that's really nice. I think we need more of that in Guild Wars 2. What happened if I equip 6 infusion into armor? Do I get cosmetics? So if you get the 6 new infusions, it doesn't have any effect as far as I know. 2 is the most that you can get. Yeah, there is a skip with where you can fly around like crazy. I'm not sure if that's like intended. Probably not. It's more like a bug. I'm not sure. I don't want to promote like skips that I'm not sure if they are intended or if they like if it's more like an exploit. So I will not talk too much about it. But there are some crazy skips in almost any fractal. Yeah. There we go. We got it. Not bad. Now we can finally select the legendary starter kit here, universal key. That's really good. Let's go first to the bank and get the other one. And then we have 2 legendary starter kits, which is obviously if you combine them really good, you will see how much stuff I will get unlocked now. It's absolutely crazy. So here it is. This is what we need. So here is the gift of might or magic, and we get the second part of it as well with this one. Going to the Mist Vault, being able to select any legendary in Generation 1 except Eternity. Is this still a good way to farm +5 power infusions? I would say so. Yeah. So let me select it, please. Thanks. And now I want the spear. I decided to make the spear, so I want to have Kamo Ohali Kotaki. So let's select this one. And there we go. Select it. I have it. Can get it. Have the precursor. Got the gift. And get 2 legendary gift starter kits. I will choose 1 gift of might. And I will choose 1 gift of double checking here. Gift of Might, Gift of Magic, because you need one of each. There we go. And now I have like a lot of the gold already done. Like a lot. I have the Gift of Battle done. I have the Gifts of Might and Magic, while having the Precursor done. And having the Gift of the Komo Hali Kotaki, which is obviously also necessary to craft the Legendary. And we are getting somewhere. You see, this is a lot of stuff that I get here. That is very, very important, and probably with those two and the Mystic Clovers in the bank, I also want to purchase the Mystic Clovers from the Fractal vendor, and then I'm almost done. I want to showcase this here as well. Can we change stats on infusion somehow? I think you can do that, yes. I think you can do that. It gives you only one. It gives you only one. And it's not random anymore. Previously it was random, but they fixed it at some point. Now you can select which one you want to get. So that's obviously really nice. So you can just say, I want to have the Gift of Magic once and then the Gift of Might in the other one. That's really nice. So you can select the ones that you actually need. That's the whole idea here. And let's go into Fractals, get some more stuff. But it's not random anymore. That is correct. It's not random anymore. So let's go to this guy. And we can purchase, let's check, 3. Because we have only 450 of those. So is that worth it for me? Probably. Probably worth it. Can we buy anything else from Fractal Relics? Not really that we need right now. Not really right now. No. I don't think so. There is nothing that I need actually from Fractal Relics, so it's probably a good choice to get the... And we can get some weapons, I guess, but I don't know. I think you can also get the... Where is it? You can even turn in some Pristine Relics in the other ones. Yeah, it is. So we can get some more Fractal Relics. And we can get from the Wizard's Vault, I think, also some more Mystic Coins here. Very good. That's what we need as well. So you can see the progress is there. Let's see if we get more than 10. Yes, we get 12 here. Very good. Which we can then turn into some more Mystic Coins here on this guy. So we can go up to like... quite a decent chunk, to be honest. The question is now, should we get those and should say we invest some Ectos and some Spirit Shards here? Because that's something that I obviously need for the Legendary as well. Or should I come back at a later point? Because if I spend my money now on those and I then don't have enough Spirit Shards, then I have to farm another content again. And it could have gotten the Mystic Clovers later. So I will not purchase it right now, I think. But at some point I will be able to purchase it here. 10 more for the week. We already have 59 and we need 77, so only 18 more to go. 10 of those I actually can get there as well. So I think we make some good progress and we will get some of the reward tracks that give plus 7 Mystic Clovers in one go. Also for PvP, I think, at some point. Yep, that's really good. Yeah, see you, Mason, see you. What does TM XX minutes mean in all chat? So that means, I will write that for you, what it means. TM means Treasure Mushroom. Yeah, Treasure Mushroom. That is a specific enemy that drops a very rare item. And XX stands for a specific like hour. So for example, if it's like currently 12 o'clock, it means 12 currently. And XX and the second part means that it's, for example, it died at 37. So that means Treasure Mushroom died at this specific hour, 37. That means it spawns 10 minutes later again, or 20 minutes, depending on the map. So this is what it means. This is what people say. It's always the death time of this specific mob. And if you want to know when it happened, then you know when there is the next respawn. Because people like to farm this specific mob or do it every day because it has a chance, a very low chance, but it has a chance of dropping those invisible boots. So people like to go for those because that means you will have no boots. You just, for the feet enjoyer, they just run barefoot. And even though that's like a very basic skin and people like to see the feet apparently, This costs, because it's so rare, over 2k gold. All of the raid classes. That's why you farm this one. Doesn't mean it's a good item. You can sell it and get a free legendary because of that if you are lucky. I never got it. I killed a lot of mushrooms, I can tell you that. But yeah, apparently some people got it. That's if you're lucky. The famous boots of Queen Shanna. Exactly. Yeah, so really good progress today. I'm happy. Very good. And I think that's also the end of today's stream. So thank you a lot for watching. I really enjoyed this one. Thanks. And I wish you all a very nice evening. And be sure to check out my YouTube channel if you haven't already. We have some really cool content coming up. And hopefully I can answer some questions there as well. Take care. And wish you all a very good rest of the week. And hopefully see you in the next stream. Thanks a lot for watching. See you around.